Under lights from Football Park, Adelaide versus Fitzroy on AFL Today.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to Football Park here in South Australia for a big clash. It's the start of round 4 in the 1993 season. It should be a beauty because it's a packed house again for the Adelaide Crows, as this time they take on Fitzroy. The Crows very determined. They had a bye last week, so their fans have been starved of football. It's another sellout. They're looking to continue on their winning way after defeating Richmond easily in the opening round and then beating the reigning champs here at Football Park a fortnight ago. Fitzroy too have certainly made it tough for their fans, a couple of very tight contests, and they've got quite a dramatic history here at this particular ground. They will be determined tonight to make amends for an extraordinary loss just a couple of seasons ago here at Football Park. It's going to be a great game though, wonderful atmosphere, so wherever you're viewing, I certainly hope that you can stay with us. Let's check the record. It's only a brief history, of course, that they have. 3 matches they have played, and the Adelaide Crows have won 2. Their greatest winning margin was a thumping last year, 85 points, and for the Roys, their greatest winning margin was 33. Joining me tonight, he's left the serenity of the Sorrento TAB. I might add, it was verging on a standing ovation coming up here tonight, up these stairs, which is different for you here at Football Park, isn't it, Don Scott?
Well, yes, there are a few jeers turning to cheers, Sandy. Very few.
What's it taken, 3 years?
Yes, it has. But actually, this is a good game tonight. It'll be a good game because they're very similar sides. And coming into this side is Sean Tasker. Unfortunately, Jonathan Ross injured his knee in the first few minutes last time they played. And they'll basically line up the way they have there. The key players, Anderson, Jarman, Tregenza, McDermott and McGuinness. Great possession winners. And Fitzroy, well, coming into the side, Abbott, Harding and Lyon. Morris, unfortunately, doing a hamstring through the week, and Satori Matthews out of form, but there'll be a couple of positional changes there.
Right, thank you, Don. So that is the Fitzroy lineup and also the Crows. Both sides out on the ground. The home side to rapturous cheers and relative silence when the Lions marched out. But this is going to be a rip-roaring game, fantastic conditions. More on that shortly. We'll take a break and then be back with all the action as round 4 gets underway.
It was billed as the April Grand Final, the Adelaide Crows and the West Coast Eagles at Football Park. A crowd of 46,000 plus, a viewing audience shared between Perth, Adelaide and Melbourne of 1,213,000, and it was only round 2. The following morning, the newspapers had a field day, particularly in Adelaide. Champion Crows knew AFL power. Crows on Glory Road. Let the party begin, the boys are back in town. Even in Victoria, the papers welcomed the victory by the Crows. The Adelaide Advertiser got so excited when printing the AFL ladder, it only named 14 teams, forgetting the poor old Melbourne Football Club. Crow fever has hit the city of churches like never before.
Here's Australia.
Take on a tough job in tough country, and you usually have to get there on all 4s. But when that's not enough, you just have to use your muscle. That's why there's a whole range of Mitsubishi Tritons with all the muscle of a big V6. And if you can't rely on a big V6 with 4-wheel drive to get you there, who can you rely on? If it only saves you once a year, it's a good year.
Come on, time to set the table. We all need to eat more breads and cereals. At least 5 serves a day. Thanks to the new Breads and Cereals cookbook, making healthy, nutritious meals is quick, cheap and easy. Just $6.95 from newsagents and selected supermarkets. Excellent!
Mount Beverton, open 7 days a week. At 80 kilometres per hour on a straight, dry, uneven road, just one faulty shock absorber can increase your stopping distance by 2.6 metres. Munro, the world's best shock absorbers.
The boys are back in town, boys are back in town.
Yes, the boys are back in town, and so's their favourite reading. It's the 1993 Camry Crows official yearbook. It's on sale now at all newsagents, but it won't be for long. Get yours before they're all gone.
At BP, we train our staff to be quicker and more efficient. Not to mention friendly, which makes your local BP service station a better place to be now, and we're working on ways to make it better in the future. BP, on the move.
For the very first time, you'll be spellbound by two of the screen's best. Academy Award winner Sean Connery and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Are you a spy?
I'm a friend. In the acclaimed motion picture by Australia's Fred Skepsey.
I am motivated by my love for Katja.
No. Is she the woman he really loves? Or the woman he must destroy? I love you. An unnerving blend of intrigue and romance. And an unbeatable cast. Mitsubishi presents The Russia House, Sunday on 7.
Welcome back. Well, when we jetted in on our onset flight late this afternoon, it did look a wonderful night for football. For more on that, and we welcome him with his Mitsubishi Motors ground report, Max Stevens. It looks a pearler, Max.
Thanks, Sandy. I tell you what, it was and is a sensational day here in Adelaide. Conditions couldn't be better, tailor-made for football. Currently, the temperature is a cool 16 degrees, the overnight low getting down to 12. The wind very, very slight. Goal advantage, nil, none whatsoever. Ground condition, brilliant. The forecast, fine and cool with no rain in sight.
Yes, perfect night for football, Max. Thank you for that. And Max will be keeping us up to date on the boundary line with all reports throughout the evening. Your selection, Max, dare I ask?
Well, I have to go for Adelaide once again. I mean, 2 in a row. They had the bye last week, and I've backed them at 36 points to win, Sandy.
Good boy. All right, joining us tonight also is former Pie champ and part-time rock star Peter McKenna. Pete, welcome to Football Park.
Good evening, Sandy. And I'm also going for the Crows, although Fitzroy, very honest, will have a red-hot go.
Don, your selection.
He got that in early, didn't he? Crows.
So, this crowd getting fired up. Graham Corns on the sidelines. Just about set to go.
Interesting ruse on the wing on Anderson there in the foreground.
The two number ones you can see in your picture leaning into each other. It's Ruse and Anderson. Brett Allen and Peter Carey are the men in white in charge of proceedings. Let's hope this is a very good game. Centre bounce to start the evening. Manson is certainly well beaten. Pittman's done extremely well. Anderson tried to get a hurried kick but was unsuccessful. Baldwin goes through strongly. So too did McDermott like a steam train and has given away a free kick.
Baldwin playing as the loose man in the back line. He was at the first bounce anyway, Sandy.
Stevens, the veteran, the nomad, goes to half forward. And that's an excellent mark taken by Ross Lyon, coming back into the side this week.
Not much reaction when an opposition player takes a mark. It was a good mark by Lyon.
Well, he's going to be kicking within 50 metres. So a drop punt. It's a good-looking kick just away to the right. And 2 for 1 behind. So the first score of the night going to Fitzroy. Kicked by Ross Lyon, who's on a young man with great ability in Ben Hart, an All-Australian player, Rookie of the Year. Wonderful future. Back into play it goes. Smart was there, Pittman also. Chance, however, for Baldwin to take the hand pass. He moves very, very quickly, Jason Baldwin. Caven goes over the top. Now an opportunity for the Royals through Dunstan. Dunstan's kick in towards the square. Manson goes to ground. Wiedemann got a hand to it. Lynch was there. An attempt to sock off the ground wasn't successful, and Hart will tidy up for the Crows. He goes with a short kick out towards the half-back line. Tregenza in trouble and eventually runs out of room for a throw-in.
Good running by Fitzroy to get it into their forward line from that half-back line. It was Caven who got it down with a kick, but they're prepared to leave their men.
Well, there's Rodney Jamieson and Stephen Rowe on the Crows bench. Now that's McGuinness getting it across to Wiedemann. Wiedemann, ferocious-looking character. Towards centre wing, there's Jamie Elliott. Again, Fitzroy go forward to the half-forward line. The pack develops. The ball hits the deck. A quick kick was by Manson, an ordinary kick, in fact. It was Bickley getting it out. The umpire playing the advantage on the Ben Hart, that promising young player. A wild hand pass to Tregenza. He's got the pace to go and get it again, though. McDermott has been in fine form again. Oh, he went back to Tregenza, but he was covered. McDermott in after, but the umpire has found a free kick on centre wing, and it will go the way of the captain, Chris McDermott. What a great player. McDermott to the half-forward line. They set themselves flying for it for Adelaide. There was Groom, couldn't take it. That's Stevens, wide to Jimmy Wine. Wine to centre wing. And the man, it doesn't take him long to get in the action. Chris McDermott again.
Averages 34 disposals at the moment, McDermott, so that'll give you an idea of the sort of busy season he's had so far. Wiedemann's kick to the half-forward line. It's effective, and so too is the mark to Rodney Maynard.
Got a roving commission on the forward line, Maynard. Named at centre half-back.
Maynard goes long. Oh, that's a lovely kick. Good lead from Modra. Was able to get away from Zanotti, who's been in good touch. And this exciting young forward, who's kicked 16 goals for so far this year, is going to shoot for his first.
Giving him plenty of room in which to lead Modra. All the players playing up the ground. There is nobody in that 50-metre area except Modra and Zanotti when the ball's up the ground.
He began his South Australian career with West Adelaide, and he's drifted that across the face, and now he's booted 16-5 for the season.
Great conversion rate, Sandy.
So, scores a level. Here at Football Park. Packed house again. I can see down the boulevard there are still cars coming in. I don't know how they're going to get in. 46-260 we had a couple of weeks ago for the Eagles, as Jimmy Wine lays it off and Fitzroy bring it towards the half-back flank. The kick by Seacamp comes to half-back. Baldwin has it now. Takes it up towards centre wing. The fly was by Wiedemann, parallel to the ground. Couldn't take the football. McCarthy, or the former Roo, rides the bump and tries to get it to Roo, but taking it over the line is Sean Tasker. So another throw-in.
Centre wing Manson seems to have his hair in a bun versus Pittman.
Bun?
As it's tapped the ground, taken away by Scott Lee. A quick kick to the half-forward line. The pack flies, hits the deck. Oh, good play there. Coming through for Fitzroy was Baldwin. Well, it's a good, tight, hard game early. Here's Marcus Seacamp again to the half-forward line, and the mark has been taken down there by McCarthy, formerly of North Melbourne, of course. John McCarthy brings it in towards half-forward, hoping for someone to take a mark. Quick kick was by Broderick. Oh, tapped on. Now, is there anyone there? No, it's all Crows players racing back, and Ben Hart read that very, very well, and plenty of poise to take his time and bring it across to Tony McGuinness. Now, McGuinness, right in the back pocket.
There's nowhere for him to go, Peter. Smart's covered by two players, McCarthy and Manson. That's why he's hesitating.
Well, one of their three great midfielders. He was Jarman and also McDermott, of course. Again, that was shuffled out there by Baldwin. On the left foot is Armstrong. Here's a chance for Dunstan, reading it beautifully. And this player impresses me because he's got terrific judgment.
Who, Harding?
No, Dunstan with the ball now, Don. Dunstan, West Australian from 50 metres. Brings it in towards goal, again across the face. Now, is that a mark? I think it's a behind. It is. Yep. So Fitzroy taking it up to the Crows at the moment, and Michael Dunstan's had a good start to the season. 1 point the margin, Fitzroy leads.
Yes, they've had a couple of close games. There was one thrashing. That was last year, going the way of the Crows, but this time it's McGuinness on the half-back flank, drifting up towards Tasker on centre wing. Got a hand to it, but that was all. Wine go through. McGuinness still waiting. With him there is Brown. Still going is Jimmy Wine down on all fours, very close to the boundary line, but he keeps it in play. Goes towards Dundas. He goes to ground. Ball spills free, but it's still locked up on that outer wing, and we'll have another bounce.
Great tackle by Maynard then, Don.
Oh, they're a great tackling side, this West Coast. And actual fact, I think
Crows.
I think Maynard leads the competition as far as tackles go.
Hart on the outer side. Almost runs out of room. Manages to get a kick up to the centre wing, but only as far as Jimmy Wine. Wine's kick. He's playing his 98th game, is young James. So a milestone for him in a couple of weeks, all being well. Baldwin lays it off. Fitzroy doing the bulk of the attacking early on in this match. The pass then was a beauty. And the shot for goal is going to be taken by Lynch. Distance may test him. He's going to be kicking from just outside 50. Thought about the short pass. He's looking for options.
Not confident, is he?
No, but he may have to go back and just pump it long. He tried to kick the cover.
Players practice the torpedo. I mean, no, they all go the drop punt, but when you're in a situation like that, they're professional. They should have a few arrows in their quiver.
I think they should be setting the ball up in the goal square for the rest of the forwards then, instead of going with a long bomb.
Hart. Again, to the half-back line, a big pack of players. Manson is in it. Pittman was there also. Dundas waiting down in front. Maynard got it out, but straight to Caven. Caven's left foot kick is good. Now, this may bounce towards the goals. It does, but Hart sees it over for another behind.
Very impressive, aren't they, Fitzroy? Very quick with their hands.
Started well. 3 behinds to 1 behind.
Well, they play well at this ground, the Roys. As the kick comes out towards half-back, Scotty Lee. Underrated player, Lee. On to Wiedemann. Oh, they love him here at Football Park as the kick, a raking kick to the half-forward line. That's a good mark by Manson coming across the front of the pack. Now, he gets it further afield. Now, that was Baldwin to the half-forward line, and eventually it rolls off the hands of Pittman over the line. Halfway between centre wing and half-forward for Fitzroy. There's Pittman. Sean Wren, of course, not playing. Named as an emergency, certainly lacking match fitness. Now, that's well done over to Armstrong from Manson, but socket off the ground to the open space. And here's Jimmy Wine. He started the game very, very well. Wine brings it to the half-forward line. The lead is on. Lynch is there, racing at the ball. Still going, Alistair Lynch. Drops it. Now, he did drop that. Good umpiring decision. He put it down on the ground, and the tackle was by Rouvray. So, excellent tackle.
Yes, great performance by Paul Rouvray. He played only 1 game in 92, and ironically enough, it was against Fitzroy. Anderson goes in. Can't come out with the football. Ruse at the bottom of the pack. Anderson again. Now Tasker. Tasker gets the hand pass away to Tregenza. A chance for the Crows to go up to the forward line. Zanotti comes steaming out, however. Takes it in front of Modra.
He's loose too also, Armstrong. They got Armstrong and Baldwin loose in the back line, the Roys.
Playing his 93rd game is Matthew Armstrong. And this is Michael Dunstan. Fitzroy moving it very quickly up towards Lynch territory once again. Dropped what he should have taken. Now he's got to beat 2, and he does. Now he can go for home. There's no one in the square, but he drops it short. And waiting in front, there's 2 Crows there. Nigel Smart clears. Goes to the outer side. Tregenza won't get there in time. And we'll see a throw in.
Oh, that's wasted, isn't it? Lynch was clear. He had no one leading. That's when you want someone...
I mean, in all fairness to the McCarthy, he was caught behind. It was a 2-on-1 situation, Peter.
Yeah, but you've got to get in those spaces, Don.
Pittman wins the tap, but it's straight to Lyon, who swings around, but he pulls that far too far. And it goes out of bounds in the full in Fitzroy's left forward pocket.
He's capable of those things, Ross. He's also capable of the incredible. He's also let himself down on occasions.
Well, Fitzroy looking very, very quick early in the game. As we see Rouvray bring it to the half-back line again. Oh, that was his teammate, the Fitzroy guy, getting there into Wine. Now, here's Broderick trying to get in a quick hand pass. Going again, Broderick, but he's lost it. Tregenza gets it out to Pittman. Now on to McGuinness. McGuinness to the centre wing area. There's Maynard, but he'll be in for a tough night on Brett Stevens, who's a good, honest player, Stevens. Rodney Maynard. Centre wing. Good start to the Roys. That's Pittman getting it down, but Ruse is there to give it across to Broderick. Broderick, the quick kick to the half-forward line, and the ball rolling towards the line and taking it over. Nigel Smart had no intention of keeping that one in. It'll be a throw-in at half-forward, still in Fitzroy's forward zone.
Controlling the game, Fitzroy, at the moment, but the point is that they are not controlling it on the scoreboard. Only 2 points in front.
Yes, point being the operative word at the moment, but still early days as Lyon tries to storm through. He got at the Baldwin, who had it spent a little too early. Dunstan goes to ground. The centre wing. Gale from the side, tried to push it up. There's some holding on there. It's got to come back.
There's some good umpiring, isn't there, tonight? Early in the game.
Was off.
Haven't missed anything, the umpires.
Elliott to Wine. Jimmy Wine to half-forward. Caven's the man in front. Got a hand to it, couldn't complete the mark. Jarman. After it was socket into his hands. Transfers play to half-forward, and that's a great mark taken by Marcus Seekamp. Gets them out of trouble once again. Out to Matthew Armstrong on centre wing. Ruse is also there. Centering kick. Baldwin can have a run here. Penetrating kick inside 50. Ricocheted off Peter Caven down towards the 50-metre line. Jarman takes the hand pass. Off to Ben Hart. The Crows out of trouble. Hart's kick up towards centre half forward. Offhand. Oh, beautifully read by Brown. 45 metres out. Brown heads for home. And there's the first one for the night. Rover's goal. Crows lead by 4 points.
It's good to see a Rover do something like that. You could tell by Sandy's voice the excitement that went around the crowd as he picked that up, the little fellow. Here it is, really well done, breaks the tackle and goes in, the first goal of the night. David Brown, who had a quiet day last week.
The Crows by 4 points after that great Rovers goal by David Brown. Now, there's Bickley getting it to half forward, but racing back to take the mark is Guard. Guard or dangerous pass that one was, but it's in the centre of the ground. There's Stevens trying to shuffle it out. Well played, Jarman. Went without it, though. Still trying hard. Ruse is there. Gets it to Broderick. Broderick, a clever hand pass. Gets it across to Armstrong. The long kick in towards Lynch. Lynch at the back. It's tucked away. And here's a chance. McCarthy on the left foot. Trying to hook it back at goal, but again offline. Fitzroy for a behind.
What about that athleticism shown by Hart?
He's a very talented player.
Spring-heel Jack.
Very, very good player. And there's another good player there, Nigel Smart. McCarthy, a big chance in on the left foot. Rouvray to the half-back line. Pittman in front, has it thumped the ground. The hand pass comes out to Liptak. Liptak further afield.
Here they go.
Tregenza in towards Modra. Modra and Zanotti. Zanotti goes for the punch. It comes off too because Baldwin was there. Onto Seacamp, doing well. Seacamp, a banana kick has gone straight to Tregenza. Tregenza into the pocket. And he has found Tasker. Tasker on the line is playing on. Umpire calls that. The kick in towards half forward. Liptak. Oh, he's taken the mark. Did he? No mark. Zanotti tries to shuffle it out. And they lock it in there. I don't think he did hold it. And it will be a bounce in front of the Crows' goal.
Everybody missed it. What about Zanotti? He missed. He's normally a right-hand punch, isn't he, Zanotti?
25 metres out from the Crows scoring zone. An excellent opportunity. On the last line of defence, it's Marcus Seacamp. Goes short, finds Jimmy Wine. Hooks it round his body towards half-back, but that's a good mark taken by Anderson. McDermott was looking for a free kick, but then he realised that his teammate had taken the mark, so he didn't go on with the holding question. Anderson, a long kick. Modra the fly.
Goes touch.
Do you think he infringed then, Peter Modra?
Think he what?
Do you think he infringed?
No, I don't. I think he had his eyes on the ball. That'll be a great contest. That he with Zanotti. Zanotti's in good form as we see Elliott going out wide to Ruse. Ruse is playing a very intelligent game. He's making space out on that wing. Now he chips it across and creates the loose man again. This is Armstrong. They're having plenty of the ball, Fitzroy. They're just not capitalising. Armstrong to the half-forward line. Again, they're breaking down up there. Maynard, taken away. Now this is Caven. He's got no backup support. Now Stevens comes in. Good play, Stevens. Down there is McCarthy. McCarthy, a hand pass. Dunstan taps it on to Dundas. Dundas goes to ground. Socked away by Bickley. And it beats the outstretched hands of Jimmy Wine. There'll be a throw-in. Forward pocket for the Roy's.
How often do you see a team that has more possessions like Fitzroy are doing, and once the Crows go forward, one only sorted a goal, they score?
4 points is the margin. There's been a free kick picked up out of that. Pittman will take it. Had an excellent game a fortnight ago. The big man who's had to shoulder the big man responsibility and has shouldered extremely well. McGuinness, look at that. Out of trouble and a long kick to centre wing. Manson, I've got to pick you up, Pete. No hairdresser, but I don't think that's a bun. I think it's a ponytail. Manson.
Similar, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
I thought it's a bushy
no, they're
sort of
pigtails you're thinking of.
Yeah. Anyway, it's on the outer side. Under 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter. It's been a tight first quarter too. Caven. Long hand pass. Can they set something up? Ruse. Brett Stephen needs help and he's got it through Gale. Gives a little ground to try and make a bit more. They're going very, very slowly. Ruse eventually high in the air after taking the hand pass from Elliott. And a free kick for holding is going against the Crows.
And the umpire is in the right position too, Sandy.
Ross Lyon directly in front, 45 out.
Just watch this in replay if we can get it. Just try after that.
There's the kick from Lyon. It looks pretty good. First goal to the Roys.
It's the name of the game.
Take on a tough job in tough country, and you usually have to get there on all fours. But when that's not enough, you just have to use your muscle. That's why there's a whole range of Mitsubishi Tritons with all the muscle of a big V6. And if you can't rely on a big V6 with four-wheel drive to get you there, who can you rely on?
Save dough at Rocker Brothers. Quality ETC tradesman's grease gun with bonus Valvoline grease, now just $14.95. Jockey wheel for trailer, caravan or boat, what a saving, just $39.95. Armour All Protectant 500ml plus bonus car wax Be Quick, $13.95. Moulded garage creeper, comfortable and light, $29.95. 40-piece socket set, just $6.90.
You really want it all in sport?
You'll get it all in Rowan Jarman's massive store-wide sale.
Every single shoe in the store has been reduced. Shoes from Nike, Reebok, Fila, Doc Martens, Asics and British Knights. In fact, over 400 models, all reduced, along with top-name tracksuits, Nike sweats, Gunnet sweats and pants, hockey sticks, rollerblades and big-name tennis rackets.
Rowan Jarman's massive store-wide sale.
And it's on now.
Duelmaster Promotions presents the action entertainment event of the year. Stephanie Curtis fighting Antonia Horn for the Commonwealth kickboxing title. Over 10 rounds of kickboxing action. Come to support the South Aussies kicking the Vixen, the New South Welshmen, in the interstate kickboxing clashes, supported by a full card of action entertainment at Heaven Newmarket Hotel, Tuesday, May 4. Tickets through Bass. Ozticket are at the door. Doors open 6:30 p.m. Show starts 8:30 p.m. Proudly sponsored by Heaven, Carlton, United Breweries and sanctioned by the World Kickboxing Association.
A lot of people that start exercising find their diets lack the iron vital for carrying oxygen. Without enough iron, they simply don't get enough oxygen. So instead of feeling better, they end up feeling tired, weak, and lethargic. But there is a nutritious food that's one of the richest sources of the iron essential for our well-being. It's lean beef. Shouldn't you lean towards beef?
Some light bitters seem to lose that crisp, clean taste after a couple of glasses. So what's so special about Foster Special?
A centuries-old culture and a mystical philosophy continue to make India the attraction for millions of travellers. Discover India, Empire of the Spirit, on John Riddell's World Around Us, 6:30 Saturday on 7. A mother grieves for a dead daughter, cries for a jailed son. A pap smear warning for women, and a lost white whale makes a splashback, all on 7 Nightly News.
Fitzroy by 2 points, and it's probably the way it should be. They've had most of the play, and the umpire will come in and bounce here, Peter Carey. Very experienced umpire. Conditions absolutely perfect here at Football Park. Of course, it might take the Crows a little while to get going. They did have the bye. There's a holding the man decision in the centre, and they'll go to Armstrong. Armstrong, the left footer, having a fine season. Brings it out towards the half-forward line. Lyon using his body. He might soccer this. No, he picks it up brilliantly, Ross Lyon. That's class. As he brings it back, there's an ordinary kick back to Jimmy White. Wine will go to the boundary line here. Nothing surer, and That was good play by Wine because he was in trouble and he hooked it back to the defensive side.
Here's Matthew Liptak right on his hammer, on the outer side. And the Royals, as you can see, having a lot of the ball, particularly in the kicking department. But there's only a couple of points in it at the moment as Tregenza goes over the top. Found Chris Groom, an exciting youngster. Here's the leader, McDermott. With Mocker. No, he's not playing on. He is not playing. Listen to this crowd. They can't believe it. Gale. The Baldwin. And Fitzroy out of trouble. Would you have played it, Pete?
We'd have to have another look at it, really, to see if he got it on that third bite.
Armstrong over the centre. It was a tremendous fly. Well, McDermott will pump them into attack again. His kick drops a little short to half forward, however. Liptak sets up the hand pass. McGuinness from 50 could kick this. Hits the base of the post. One behind.
The Crows getting a lot of players up around midfield. See Camp's loose, as you can see there. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch and go. He really didn't control, did he?
Well, that's the name of the game. You've got to control it, don't you? It's close, very close to a mark. Now that's Gale. Over to Zanotti. I'm really looking forward to that contest. Zanotti on Modra. The kick looking for Seacamp. Danger here, though, because McGuinness has got it. Oh, good tackling by Fitzroy. A hand pass.
Oh, he dropped it. Now Pipe's giving the other way.
What for, Don?
Well, he said he held him.
Well, maybe he was held after he got rid of the ball. It was going to Jarman. Let's have a look now. McGuinness has got it. He's got it, loses, he handballed it, then
well,
was
did
held.
He really make contact with it?
He was held after he got rid of the ball, so technically the umpire right. But did he handball or did he drop it? I think he got a quick little handball in, actually, Tony McGuinness. Now he'll kick from 50 metres. It's normally a beautiful kick, McGuinness. The high drop punt, it's floating. Will it clear the tackle? Was it touch? I think it's a goal. It is. So Tony McGuinness has kicked his first and the Crows hit the front by 5 points.
Controversial goal to McGuinness from that free kick. Here it is. I don't think he actually did handball. He did not handball that.
He tried and missed it.
Yeah, I told you.
Five points the margin here at Football Park as Manson goes from mighty thump down towards half forward. Stopping it, however, is Scotty Lee. A high kick. Now the Crows back into their attacking zone. McDermott. Oh, he's caught. But he's caught high.
Smart off too, Sandy. Maynard on. Not Maynard, Jamison on. But McGuinness definitely didn't handball that we saw earlier.
He attempted to handball and missed the ball, I think, Don.
Well, let's stay with this action. McDermott to half forward. That's a lovely kick for Greg Anderson. 50 metres going up against Manson and the very parochial crowd, but sorry team, not on.
He could kick this.
He's a long kick.
Yeah, he's a lovely kick.
Interesting battle between he and Ruse, playing wide of one another.
Playing his 106th game. Of course, had a great career with Essendon. What a kick. Couple of quick goals. Crows sneak away. First to Greg Anderson. Adelaide a 3-3. Fitzroy a 1-4.
And really, there's not much justice, is there, in football when you are a Fitzroy supporter. They've controlled the game early on. The handball's been crisp. They've been winning it, but they just have not capitalised on the scoreboard, and that's where it counts. The Crows, on the other hand, have done well when going forward.
Yes, well, you've got to capitalise up forward. You've got to have goal kickers. That's the name of the game, as we see Jarman getting it towards half-forward. Seacamp doing pretty well down there, and good play too off the side of the boot, but unfortunately it landed with Tregenza. Tregenza to half-forward. The pack develops, thumped down by Maynard. It's a loose ball with Brown, trying to get in a hand pass. He does so in the finish. Is that a throw? Umpire says no, as Jarman races after it. A quick little hand pass to the dangerous Tony McGuinness. He wants someone to lead. No one's moving for him, so he brings it in towards the square. Modra, error, could be a goal. Yep.
That's not right.
Zanotti said he touched it.
But wasn't Modra holding Zanotti? And the ball was nowhere near them.
Well, he's claiming he touched it, Mark Zanotti. Let's have a look.
Now, there's no one for McGuinness to go. He's asking, look, yelling out. But look at Modra holding.
Oh.
Anyway, they've scored another. That's their fourth.
Dramatic times here at Football Park. 4-3 plays 1-4. Lee over the top. The Crows out of trouble once again. Jamison to centre wing. Anderson in everything in the last 5 minutes. Centering kick to half forward. No mark taken. Play on is the call. Manson gives it out to Gale. Kick is smothered. Baldwin comes in to meet it. Oh, look at the tackle of Wiedemann. Anderson back to Wiedemann. He's caught. Does get the hand pass away. He was looking for Big Pittman. McDermott, strong tackle, but the free kick has gone the way of Dundas. Off he goes to Armstrong. Armstrong's kick to half forward. All of a sudden, this game has turned right around. Lynch, where can he go? Gets a kick under pressure, back towards half forward, but a fine mark taken by Mark Beckley.
He's a good player, Beckley.
Dundas has gone off. There's something wrong with Dundas, and Harding's come on. He limped off. He's gone straight and straight to the physiotherapist.
Well, the Crows getting it moving now. Jamison's on the ground, and he gets it out to Tregenza, and this is not looking good for Fitzroy. He's got plenty of space, Tregenza, in towards the pocket. The lead is on by Modra. And the crowd love Tony Modra because he's a goal kicking forward.
Bruce now got the job on Jarman, and Gale's got the job on Anderson.
Modra in towards the square. Players fly, but here's a goal. Jarman hit the post. He could have dribbled that one along the ground and made a certainty of it. Andrew Jarman, there he is. Just under. Max Stevens is down on the boundary line. What's the report, Max?
Nigel Smart has a cork thigh. They're applying ice, and he should be okay. They're just having a look at it at the moment.
Well, Mark Zanotti about to bring it. There he is, Nigel Smart on the right, Stephen Rowe on the left. But Mark Zanotti, they have to bring it back into play, and Tony Modra won't have it all his own way tonight playing on Zanotti, who normally plays very close. Now, that's Armstrong. Out to James Manson. Manson with that awkward kicking style down towards half forward. This is Dean Harding. They need a goal here. Armstrong hooks it back towards half forward. Ross Lyon races at the ball. He's looking for backup support. He's got it there. Harding. Now Broderick. Broderick hooks it with the left foot to the square. The one-on-one contest. The ball hits the deck. Scott Lee goes to back up, and not good. Just not good enough on the forward line at the moment, Fitzroy. They're being well held by those pro backmen.
4-4 plays 1-5. Time ticks down in this first quarter. And after a very even and tight first 15 minutes...
That's not much good, is it?
No, Tregenza off to McGuinness. The Crows breaking away. McGuinness, long kick over centre wing he goes. The target was Tasker, a little too far for him at the back room. High kick, gathers probably 20 metres. Difficult one to mark. Oh, he almost did it very well too. And David Brown having a word saying you wouldn't pay it. To Liptak? No, he won't. He'll have a bounce. Brown may get another chance. Away from Caven he sneaks. Kicks in towards full forward, but can't pull it round nearly enough. And it'll be a Fitzroy ball. Right on the last line of defence. Seacamp. To half back. Manson the flyer. Couldn't take the mark. The bottom was Broderick. Manson again. Big man tries to get it out. Stevens. Got to beat a couple of them, including Tasker. Now McGuinness used the body beautifully. Tony McGuinness, what a first quarter he's had here at Football Park. A big fly by Seacamp. No mark. David Brown through. Socket it forward with his own advantage, but Caven intercepted. Fitzroy still showing a ton of desperation, but they can't get the goals on the board at the moment. Bickley. Centering kick. Oh, Tasker.
Courage.
Would have felt that.
Oh, he's hurt himself too. He must have copped a knee in the ribs there. I hope that's not broken ribs.
Well, everybody's played football's been in this position at some time or other.
Oh, he might have copped that knee in the kidneys or the rib region. Look, knee out, bang.
Well, it looks as though Greg Anderson's going to take the kick.
Oh, they hurt.
No.
He showed
umpire doing?
Cody
Oh, his
King
umpire's taking the mark away, so the player's not in the road, the injured player's not in the road.
Module was the big flyer. Couldn't take the mark. Groom over the back. No one at home, however, this time for the Crows. And Mark Zanotti, who loves to run out of the fence, goes to centre half back and finds Matthew Armstrong.
Well, he's up and running, Mark Zanotti. Let's hope he keeps going. He's exciting to watch, Zanotti. Good play. When people criticise his kicking, I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as people make out of him. McCarthy to the half-forward line. They need a goal, Fitzroy, and the umpire's paid the mark to Dunstan in front.
Tasker back up. Yeah, he's up, Sandy. He's still in the hands of the trainers, but at least he's walking around.
Well, the siren is gone. Dunstan is a beautiful kick for goal. He's in front. Oh, lucky to be paid it, I'd say, by looking at the replay. But he's right in front. They need it, the Roys. Right on quarter time. Let's have a look. He's drifted it to the right. Another wasted opportunity to Fitzroy. So quarter time here at Football Park. The Adelaide Crows, after a slow beginning, have really hit their straps, and they lead 4-4-28 to Fitzroy 1-6, a total of 12.
It's the name of the game.
It's fantastic.
Incredible.
They say it's full of cheese.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
It's McDonald's Triple Cheeseburger. 1, 2, 3 slices of cheese, 3 all-beef patties with ketchup, mustard, pickles and onions.
It is full of cheese.
McDonald's Triple Cheeseburger.
I wish this could last forever.
No, it's only for a limited time.
It's magic time.
Coming April 18th, the all-new Holden Apollo. The largest, roomiest, most powerful 4-cylinder Holden ever. Seeing is believing.
We're saving dough at Rocker Brothers.
Save dough at Rocker Brothers on disc rotors to suit Mazda 323 and Laser 5190, Camira, Corolla and Celica 5990, and Falcon or Commodore 7995. Exchange brake shoes to suit most cars 1095. Ferodo high performance disc pads to suit Holden, Ford, Toyota, BMW, Volvo, Nissan, Mazda and Mitsubishi, all at one crazy low price $29.95.
We're saving dough at Rocker Brothers.
After captivating audiences around the world, the internationally acclaimed Four Kinsmen bring their fabulous show home to you.
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun.
Don't miss their songs, dance, the impressions, the laughs,
Some secluded rendezvous that overlooks the avenue, with someone sharing a delightful chat of this and that and cocktails for two.
and their dynamic harmonies.
Sherry, baby, Sherry.
Australia's multi-award-winning group, the Four Kinsmen, displaying their own brand of music and comedy entertainment.
Bridgeway Entertainment Centre presents the Four Kinsmen. Reservations are now open for their 1993 Christmas season. Book early.
Agostino Mitsubishi, where you'll always get a fair deal. If not, I'll shave my mow off.
At BP, we train our staff to be quicker and more efficient. Not to mention friendly, which makes your local BP service station a better place to be now, and we're working on ways to make it better in the future. BP, on the move.
For the first time on television, he was untouchable. Robert Stack returns in the role that made him famous.
Elliot Ness, you're dead.
With Capone out of the way,
This city's up for grabs.
all the rules have changed.
I've got a job to do. I'm gonna finish it.
I'll take care of Ness.
A nerve-shattering game of seduction.
Believe me.
Robert Stack and Lisa Hartman.
I'm gonna take you down.
In the movie that begins where the Untouchables left off.
You like it?
The Untouchables, Return of Elliot Ness. 8:30 Monday on Channel 7.
Quarter time here at Football Park, Adelaide, 4-4-28, lead Fitzroy 1-6-12. A reminder, of course, on Sunday, the top sporting show in the country comes your way on 7, and that is Sports World. 9 o'clock around the country, or 8:30 in Adelaide, but wherever you may be viewing, I hope you can join us. We've got a big Sunday on Sports World with the reports from Bells Beach, the stall gift, and of course big day of racing in Sydney with the Sydney Cup. That's Sports World on Sunday, and there'll be plenty of car racing action in that too, because don't forget, we've got the next round from Lakeside. That's the 4th round of the touring cars on Sunday, April 18. But wherever you may be viewing, check your local guides. Let's go down to the boundary line. Max Stevens is our man there. And Max, I believe, I didn't see it, but there was a confrontation, was there not, you had just a moment ago?
Well, not quite a confrontation, I suppose, along those lines, Sandy. Fitzroy, when they arrived today at the Adelaide airport, they refused, even the coach Robert Shaw, to talk to anyone. Just gone out there at quarter time, and I've had the biggest spray I've ever received. It reminded me of when I was in grade 6 at school. But anyway, what I did get off Robert Shaw, or what I could hear, was he wants that endeavour to continue. He was a little bit disappointed. They went to sleep at about the 20-minute mark. An update on Matthew Dundas. He's injured his left ankle. Apart from that, everything's okay.
Must have been a very naughty boy in grade 6, Max.
I definitely was.
4-4 plays 1-6. Well, that's disappointing as we go into the second term here at Football Park. Can the Lions claw their way back into this match? Caven, a high kick to centre wing. Anderson eyes for the ball, but he's given away the free kick. Michael Gale, also with the ponytail. Fitzroy wanting the first goal badly. Hart defends.
Line holding on that occasion.
Gets the hand pass away. A tumble punt going back towards half-back. Rodney Maynard is there. He takes the mark, gives it straight to McGuinness. McGuinness had a marvellous first quarter. Up towards half-forward. Groom almost held a good mark. He's got support there through the smaller David Brown. Pulls it round his body. Anderson was calling for it. He's got a chance now, Greg Anderson. He gets clear. 40 metres out. Anderson heads for home and hits the post. Well, Jarman did it in the first quarter, and now Anderson in the second as the Crows move to 4-5.
Good turn of speed by Anderson. I deserved a goal, actually. It was great play by Greg Anderson. What a handy pickup he's been. Now, Zanotti again proving his kicking is better than what most people think, as he finds guard with that kick in. Out to Jason Baldwin. Now, Baldwin's at half-back, but this is when nothing seems to happen for them, Fitzroy. To the half-forward line. Pittman at the back, 2 bites of the cherry. Oh, no mark. And the Adelaide Crows supporters not too happy with the umpires, with the mark. Oh, he's nearly unloaded in Simon Tregenza, and eventually fumbles the ball over the line. It's right on centre wing. He's not happy with himself. He's got the little goatee beard this year, Sandy. Simon Tregenza, pretty quick. Now, that's Manson with the left hand. McDermott thumping it on to Tregenza. Tregenza to the half-forward line. Jamie Elliott's playing a nice game there at half-back, and he taps it to the line. We know what his intentions were, but he disguised it pretty well.
You think?
Well, they didn't play out of bounds on the full, did they?
No.
It's at half-forward for the Adelaide Crows. That was Groom hooking it over the back, looking for Maynard. Maynard goes to ground all over his head. It's a quick hand pass. Groom again centres it. That's good play in towards Modra. Free kick, Modra.
Yeah.
Holding the man. The umpire is paying it right in front of goal. Mark Zanotti's not impressed, but Modra from 15 metres will probably put this right through the middle.
Tell you what, he's making it hard for one Scott Hodges to get back into this side.
Well, let's have a look at it. There it is. Yes, no doubt about the free kick. Zanotti tripped over and then held him down. Yes, Hodges playing with Port Adelaide at the moment, and played in the centre last week, actually, as Modra, kicking for his first of the night, puts it right through the middle. So Tony Modra, his first, and the Crows, well, they're sneaking away now, 5-5 to 1-6.
Well, it's a difficult position to play, as we know, full back, but Zanotti's got to get in front. He's been caught behind on a couple of occasions. Your heart is in your mouth when he's going near the ball. He did infringe, and he does hold. He's just got to get that out of his game.
Tony Modra gets his first. The Crows move to 5-5. Fitzroy, 1-6. Centre bounce once again. It's a nice one for Manson. Jarman went without it. Trying to storm through was Armstrong. Able to get it clear, but they lost possession just for a moment until Jeremy Gard butted up. Seacamp back to centre wing.
Running. Gee, they're running well. That's Seacamp playing in the back pocket.
McCarthy, a centering kick.
They're quick, aren't they, Fitzroy?
Jimmy Wine and Chris McDermott just
handle the
having a
ball a
chat.
lot, Peter, but they're really not capitalising. See, they...
I want a mark here. Let's see what they can do. No one able to take it. Armstrong at the bottom. And again, the umpire's forced to come in. Ross Lyon there, always a solid worker coming back into this Fitzroy lineup this week.
They might have to try Roos up forward because there's nothing happening for them.
Yeah, but he's got the job on Jarman.
I know, but they've got to get goals.
Rob Peter to play Paul, don't you? Lyon through with strength. Hart was clean bowled on that occasion. Broderick holds it up. Another bounce.
The Adelaide Crows backline, actually, they bottle it up well. The big men get back there too to help out, Don.
Well, Pittman shows a lot of mobility for a man his size.
There he is, number 15. McDermott, was he held? Baldwin, the meat and the sandwich. McGuinness couldn't take it cleanly. Difficult one to grab. Eventually it's guard. High kick to the 50-metre line. Pittman stood his ground with strength. McCarthy does well to tap it over the top. Brown under pressure now. Defends with a hand pass towards the boundary line. Scotty Lee will get them out of trouble. He kicks towards Tregenza, who drops it. Baldwin steals it, but he's able to apply the tackle on Baldwin. The ball spills free to Dean Harding. He's under pressure. Broderick's short kick goes only 15 metres. Umpire's called play on. He's still calling play on. But all the players stopped Peter McKenna, did they not? Gale has a shot in towards full forward. It goes over the top. Lynch is there. Rouvray spoons it towards the line.
He marked the ball, and the Adelaide guys were claiming holding the ball.
Well, first of all, did he mark it? Secondly, it was holding the ball if he was making no attempt to get it out.
But then they all stopped. Everyone was asking the question.
And the umpire was waving their hands to play on.
And eventually they were invited to play on, and they did. 5-5 plays 1-7.
Well, there's Baldwin trying to soccer it off the ground. That's Stevens getting it across to Armstrong. Lovely kick, Armstrong. Now Harding. It comes off, but it didn't hit him on the chest, which it should have. Jimmy Weiner going all over the place here, Fitzroy, but eventually the kick has found Armstrong in the pocket, but he's on a very, very acute angle, particularly for a left footer.
Playing possession football, aren't they? It's like basketball. They're trying to set it up.
They had heaps of the ball because they're so quick and they're highly skilled, Fitzroy.
There's a big hole there, Peter, if someone wants to lead into it in front of the goals.
Well, there's a great camera shot of this one. A difficult kick from Matthew Armstrong. He gets very, very close. That's a beautiful kick. It's a goal.
Well, here's a magnificent kick on the run, Matthew Armstrong. However, when he does get the ball from a shed shot, he doesn't cover much distance. We see there 35 playing 19. Here is the build-up, the ball going back. It's only 10 metres from where it came. This is the angle. A difficult shot for a left footer, but very well executed. Matthew Armstrong.
16 points the margin here at Football Park as Anderson pumps the Crows into attack with a long left foot kick. Out comes Zanotti. Well, he chanced his arm. He couldn't quite take it on the half volley. Maynard spins round. He's going to have a shot. It's a long kick. On the line. Gee, they've had some tight ones to decide tonight, but guard must have just got a touch. 5-6 plays 2-7.
Well, there's one in the first quarter. Zanotti claimed he touched before it went over for a goal.
Wasn't at all happy, was he? Mark Zanotti kicks straight down the middle. Baldwin has been busy, but they've got to put the score on the board, Fitzroy. The centre wing, Lynch in front.
What's he at centre half?
He's been moved, yes, I'd say for sure.
Plays on quickly to Broderick. Oh, got to be careful here. Seacamp's hand pass goes astray. Baldwin follows it down. Back to Armstrong, who kicks it high in towards full forward. Plenty of flyers. Hart or McGuinness went through. Wiedemann is there also. Roos trying to get a soccer at it. Look at that. In they go over the top. And the wild man Wiedemann says, cool it. Settle it down.
Oh, he looks as though he just came off a Viking ship. Wayne Wiedemann.
Go on, say it, Don.
No, it's pathetic. Sandy, it really is pathetic.
He's a ferocious-looking character.
Well, we've got a bounce. Just 5 metres out. Pittman goes bang.
Oh, was that a goal? It's a goal.
Yes! Dangerous work by Pittman. And a goal is the result.
But Harding could have also got the free kick, Sandy, because he was being held.
Jimmy Wines. One goal.
See, that's a handy one.
Here it is again.
Being held, you can see there Harding.
Was his foot through?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's on the board. That's all that counts. And the gap is closing here at Football Park. The Lions fight back. 36 plays 25.
Well, they certainly have come back. 11 points. There's ball went off the ground. Another quick one. They'd be right. There's in the back.
He doesn't get in the centre quick enough to Genza. He's playing on Baldwin, and Baldwin's got in there a couple of times very, very quick. That's something that Genza's got to look at.
Well, great play by Lynch and good thinking by the coach, Robert Shaw, to move him out there. Nothing was happening with him at full forward. They've got him out the centre forward. He's a great player, Alistair Lynch. Here's a chance for Gard, but getting into that hole.
There's 3 of them back there, Peter. 3 Crows players.
Paul Roubre to the half-back line. Jarman, we haven't seen much of him so far, but that was clever. Out to Anderson. The running Greg Anderson to half-forward. They're ducking back towards there as Groom, towards that centre-forward area. Modra versus Zanotti. Zanotti was held behind the play by Modra. The umpire wasn't looking. Play on, and the umpire has found a free kick. And it'll go the way of Brown against Gard for a push, I think. And Jeremy Gard can't believe it. Let's have a look what happens. He's got it. Now he's caught. It was high, very high. Yes, it was. As we see the kick by David Brown from 47 metres. Oh, nice looking drop punt. Is he sneaking in for goal? I think he has. Yes, he has.
It's the name of the game.
Mitsubishi Triton Utes and Express fans. They only stop when you do.
When Australia's biggest importer of handmade Oriental decor went bankrupt, the task of clearing the enormous stockpile began. Starting Saturday, the last remnants will be disposed of by Kadir & Sons under instructions to close the books once and for all. Don't miss these bargains, many below cost and thousands more from Kadir's own stocks. Hurry to Wavell Showgrounds, Leader Street. Kadir & Sons. Closing the books on an era.
Don't miss out on buying your 1993 Camry Crows season ticket. Special new reserved seating areas have just been released and good seats are still available. And remember, if you buy your season ticket, your football dollars stay in South Australia. Call Bass Dial and Charge now, but don't miss out because the boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town.
You just never know when you're going to need instant windscreens, and you won't believe how instant your new instant windscreen can be. They replace windscreens, side, quarter and rear windows, install van windows and apply window tinting for cooler driving. And all work is fully guaranteed. And with Instant's Repair It for chipped and cracked windscreens, you may not even need a new windscreen. Instant windscreens fit all makes, all models at the best prices. Quick as a flash.
A lot of people that start exercising find their diets lack the iron vital for carrying oxygen. Without enough iron, they simply don't get enough oxygen. So instead of feeling better, they end up feeling tired, weak and lethargic. But there is a nutritious food that's one of the richest sources of the iron essential for our well-being. It's lean beef. Shouldn't you lean towards beef?
Save 10 to 50% off all frames now, only at OPSM.
There are all sorts of claims being made about light beers these days. So what's so special about Foster's Special?
Roland's in a flat.
Those bigots and bonnets are staying in this hotel.
When Southern Bells come calling.
She's a very modern thinker. And I wish I was in Dixie.
The Golden Palace, followed by Nurses from 7:30 Sunday on 7. A chilling mystery straight from the pages of Agatha Christie.
Oh my God.
A trail of blackmail, lies and scandal.
The clue, Lewis.
A twisted plot that will have you guessing.
Which of them was it?
Inspector Morse, 8:30 Saturday on 7.
2 goals to Brown. Manson beaten by Pittman, but who can win it out of the centre? McDermott working hard with McGuinness. Intercepted by Ruse. Well done. Solid work. Now Jarman tries to storm his way through. Oh, it's tough in there at the moment. Gale tries to get it out. He's still working at the bottom there, and eventually the umpire comes in and decides on a bounce.
Fitzroy at those centre bounces, they rush in.
Michael Gale.
Good contest, Sandy.
It is, isn't it? Yes, a couple of quick goals to Fitzroy. They're back in business. Oh, steadier. Now Armstrong caught in the middle there. Eventually the ball spills free.
In situations like that where the pack's developing, as soon as it touches the hands, you've got to move it on. A handball just over the top of the head in the direction of goal, as good as anything.
What will happen this time? Will he try and open it up with a free kick if no one can get clear? Well, they can. Matthew Armstrong down towards the 50-metre line. Lynch was there. No one able to take a mark. Hart reads it nicely. Goes to the outer side. A guard maybe first to this for Fitzroy. Gets away from McGuinness. Oh, well, the advantage is played. He was going to give a free kick against Tony McGuinness. As I said, advantage paid, however. Ruse from behind has forced to spoil. Lyon with strength. There's a player down behind play. Tregenza sneaks away for the Crows and he kicks up towards the half-forward line. Danger here as McGuinness is there. Tried to tap it over the top on that occasion. Was unsuccessful. And Fitzroy, through Dean Harding, initiating the hand pass, get out of trouble. Back towards the centre. Ruse casually with one hand. Off to Armstrong. Long penetrating kick to full forward. Mark not taken. Play on as the call. Going to ground was McCarthy. He's going to be first to recover. Rouvray is there with him. And the Crow boys will lock it up. Michael Dunstan. This was just a few moments ago. Oh.
And Manson's gone off and Abbott coming on.
McDermott. Geez, a hard worker to centre wing. Abbott, as Don said, on the ground and immediately making his presence felt with a mark and kick into the forward line.
Yes, good kick by Abbott. Oh, big fly was by Lynch. Taken away, though, by Tasker. Scott Lee. They back up pretty well, the Adelaide Crows defenders. The kicker finds Bickley, the ever reliable. Then Scott Lee, they play well every week. A little kick to half-back. This is Big Pittman on a dangerous hand pass to Tregenza, who was covered, allows Fitzroy in. That's Jamie Elliott, gets in a hand pass. McCarthy tries to tap it on. Taken by Pittman, that was good play, but he gave it to a man who was surrounded by Fitzroy players. Now, a loose ball is with Jason Baldwin from 60 metres. Oh, look at this. He has kicked it straight to Rouvray, and that is not good play from Baldwin. He just panicked too much. Half-back, a good mark for Chris McDermott.
He's playing well, Pete.
Well,
actually, so's Broderick playing well on him too.
Yes, I think Broderick's tagging him, and he's done a fair job because Chris McDermott's prolific ball winner to half forward, tapped the ground. Stevens working hard. That was Baldwin. That was cleverly done. Here he is, Paul Broderick, sweeping hand pass. Oh, they're backing up well. That's Caven. Further afield to Seacamp. Seacamp to the half forward line. Oh, good mark, Greg Anderson.
Plays on quickly. Long kick. Jarman's his target. He's going to run into Brett Stevens. There's a couple there he's got to beat. Groom goes to ground.
Leg.
Stevens still going. Groom asks the question. And the free kick is going to go the way of Paul Ruse from half-back. Abbott. Cry of oh no by this crowd. Too high. But it's paid to the former Hawk. But Fitzroy struggling to get the score on the board. They're 3-7 as Elliott's kick goes down to half forward. Pushed clear. McGuinness leading in the race. Look at him go, but eventually runs out of room.
We saw Pittman's doing a lot of hard work. He's not taking the marks to centre half forward, but he's at least getting a hand there. He's taking a Fitzroy player out of the action, and he is he's doing really well around the ground.
Just saw Stephen Rowe warming up, so it looks as though the Crows may be making a change. There's Wiedemann over the top to Anderson. Still on the outer side. Stolen by Ross Lyon. Handball to himself and goes onto the left foot and is effective too because McCarthy has taken the mark.
He's a great player, Lyon, isn't he? Matthew Liptak is about to come off. As McCarthy's got this ball.
Well, this is the guy that's got heaps of talent, but he plays in burst on.
Played well last week. 4 goals from centre-half forward, McCarthy.
He's a long kick normally, too.
Former Roo. 40 metres out. Ooh, I think he's got it. He has. Very good goal for Fitzroy, and that keeps them in touch once again. They move to 4-7, and the Crows are 6-6.
Well, Lyon, it was incredible. Listen, watch Lyon here. Watch. Handball to himself over the top then, showing his skill. Look at the way he goes onto that left foot. And there's Liptak coming off and Rowe coming on as McCarthy shoots his first.
Fitzroy hanging in there, 11 points the margin. Paul Abbott tapping it back towards Gale. He's backup support from Wine to the half-forward line. Umpire calls play on because taken away is Ross Lyon. He gets it to Gale. Fitzroy go forward again. The leader's onto the pocket. John McCarthy has it tucked away by Rubrain. Presses me as a full-back.
He's pretty quick because what he did, you know, we watched Lynch earlier lead him out. Now, Lynch is no slouch when it comes to pace. He's one of the quickest men at Fitzroy, and Rouvray was right beside him. Now, that was a good effort then, too, by Rouvray.
That's right. He was on McCarthy that time. I agree with you, Don. There's Ross Lyon trying to take it out of the ruck. McGuinness was there. Jimmy Wine. Now McCarthy. Can't get his boot to it. And then he taps it back. That was good play. Broderick on the right foot. Hooks it back in front of goal. Here's a chance. Oh, good attempt, Lynch. Still a chance as we see Baldwin there. And now Dunstan comes in. And Wiedemann showing the old tag team wrestling act there in the pocket.
What's that, Pete?
Well, they're really throwing themselves in the Roys there. Placing the Crows under a lot of pressure here tonight. Forward pocket, the umpire about to throw it up, Peter Carey. As we see Pittman versus Lynch. A quick kick for a goal for Fitzroy. Yes. 5 points the margin now. Let's see who's... Jimmy Wind. You wouldn't believe it. Jimmy Wind at the bottom of the pack. And don't we see that all the time? 5 points the margin. Well done, Fitzroy.
Well, that's his second goal. His first one came in a similar fashion. Just getting a boot to it, and through goes his second. Well done.
42 plays 37 things warming up here at Football Park. The Crows looked as though they might go over it, but to the Lions' credit, they've come back and they're going forward again through Armstrong. Down towards full forward. 1, 2, yes! McCarthy's going to have another shot.
No doubt about that. That was a mark.
So John McCarthy is going to be kicking from 35 metres. Here it is in replay. 1, 2 grabs. No question.
I don't know.
When you're in front, you've got to pay those. When you're in front.
This for his second, but more importantly, this to give Fitzroy the lead.
Unbelievable.
Well, it's been a great quarter by them. 30 metres out. He has put it through. Fitzroy are in front here at Football Park. Deathly silence, too, from this crowd of 46,000. You wouldn't think a goal had been scored, would you?
It's a strange feeling. It's, but you certainly know. Look at this mark, Don.
Yes, but the thing is, well, the way they got it out of the centre, they really do hit the ball hard in the centre, Fitzroy. We'll just watch them on this occasion. The way they rip off the sides. And that's something that the Adelaide Crows have got to look at. They don't get in hard enough. Anderson on one wing, Tregenza on the other.
So we go back to the centre. What a turnaround. Fitzroy had a lot of the ball early. They couldn't kick goals. I think there's a very slight breeze going to left of screen. It's certainly kicking longer that way, but Fitzroy desperate. That's Rod Jamieson off the ground, trying to sock it away. Well, he did, Baldwin. Now here's Greg Anderson. Hand pass. Jarman in towards full forward. Modra and Zanotti. Modra flies, but there are Fitzroy players over the back.
Well done by Roos to hold his ground.
Caven should get it away. He does. He gets it to Abbott. Abbott making his presence felt. Oh, good mark. No, not Payne. The Adelaide Crows. There's Maynard. Now it's Armstrong. Oh, they're tearing in after the ball, Fitzroy. That was Stevens getting it out. Well done by Pittman. Over to Tregenza. Tregenza to the half-forward line as Modra. He's been well covered at the moment, but he hooks it. No, he keeps it in play. No, he puts it out. And Zanotti putting enormous pressure on Modra down there, Sandy.
It was a good effort by Roos earlier when that ball came into the forward line. He had to go back, a captain's effort, and he stood his ground.
Fitzroy by a point. Caven marks in the back pocket. Suddenly, this crowd has come to life. There's an urgency in this game. Going for distance, Caven. Gets it to centre wing. Big leap by Lynch in the middle of that pack. No mark.
You'd think he'd keep the ball around the boundary line from that half.
That's where the movement was coming from there.
Yeah, but I mean, it centres the ball and still on the Crows' forward line.
Which it is at the moment. Pittman wins it with the right hand, palms it down. Who's waiting at the back? It's McGuinness as usual. Off to Tregenza. Pulls it round his body. Inside 50. Was there a push?
No. He just used his body.
Seacamp, yes, as off they run now for Fitzroy. Elliott could be first to it. No, he decides to leave it for Gale. Drifts play into the centre. Abbott needs someone going past. He's got Broderick. Gale again. Baldwin's wide on centre wing. He can go long, centering kick. That's exactly what he does. Towards McCarthy. Couldn't take the mark. Stevens waits down. Gets it back to Roos. A high left foot kick. Not a lot of distance. McCarthy's there. Couldn't take it. Roos again. One behind.
Oh, they were calling for the handball to Fitzroy players, but you've got to do it under pressure.
Covering a lot of ground, Roos. Remember, he was down at centre half back, blocking up there. Then he's down here kicking a goal. Or trying to.
McCarthy firing instructions. With the action there was with Roos. Scott Lee.
They're playing the huddle, the Crows, and here's a break. Too slow. Come on, McGuinness is by himself. Look at
now
this. He's run 60 metres.
We found him now in the back pocket. Tony McGuinness.
Too slow.
I think except for McGuinness, the other playmakers have been pretty well held. Jarman hasn't had a great influence, and neither has Chris McDermott at this stage. Normally prolific ball getters have done their homework, Fitzroy. Or Baldwin caught high. And Jason Baldwin is playing a fine game for Fitzroy. Now he's got to move it quickly. Fitzroy player on his own in the square. Look at this. He should mark. Oh, no. Good play, Roubaix, to get back there and help out. It's a loose ball, and Wiedemann caught with the ball. They race in after it. Scott Lee gets a hurried kick. It's out to the wide open spaces. Now, Anderson gets it across to Tasker. They've got the loose man. They had a real chance in Fitzroy a moment ago. This is Maynard at half-back. Bring it in towards the half-forward line. He'll find Andrew Jarman. Danger here for Fitzroy. Jarman steadies. Brings it into Modra. And Modra gets away from Zanotti and marks about 35 to 40 metres from goal. And the Crows supporters much happier now.
Gee, that was a good mark. That was a great mark because he was very hard at the ball. Good play here by Jarman. He sets it up. Gets away from Roos. He was hard at the ball.
I thought Baldwin's kick up the other end, very ordinary to a man who was on his own for about 30 seconds. Now, here's Tony Modra for his second. He drifts it across the face and one behind only. So, the margin a point in favour of the Roys.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this first half. Zanotti will bring it back into play. Could go short to Seacamp. In fact, that's what he elects.
He's kicking out well, isn't he?
Their skill is incredible nowadays, isn't it, players? The way he hit Seacamp then, Zanotti.
Oh, well, that was a poor attempt, but a good mark then by Tregenza, who plays on into half-forward. That also a poor kick. And the number one pick of the 91 draft, Seacamp, gets another chance. He kicks up towards centre field. Bickley spoiled from behind. Roos is waiting down in front. So too is his teammate in Dunstan.
Free kick.
Pushed into the centre, but yeah. Back it'll go. Jimmy Wine. Fitzroy into their attacking zone they go. Lynch the flyer. At the back is Tasker. Anderson on the outer side. The loping left footer goes with a long kick towards Groom.
Well done.
Good spoil by Seacamp. Defending with the fist. Goes towards the boundary line. Elliott is there. Under pressure. Free kick going the way of the Roys. In fact, play on was called.
But the advantage was paid, was it?
Yes, and now a little bit of an altercation on that outer side. But things warming up here at Football Park, and it's been turned over. Rowe has been given the football. Outside 50. Passes is a poor one. Clean bowled Paul Roos, however. Jarman could have given away a free kick then. An attempted soccer off the ground was by Broderick. McGuinness, he's a tremendous workhorse. Runs out of room and runs out of support. McDermott the only one there at the moment. They haven't lost it yet. Bickley gets it away. It goes in towards full forward and the mark is taken by Modra.
Doing well, Modra. Good battle between he and Zanotti. There's a little bit of strength on that occasion to push away.
Started his career with West Adelaide. Rod Jamieson bringing the ball into him.
Dunstan's on. Dundas is on for Fitzroy too, and Dunstan's gone off.
Modra for his second. 25 metres out. Shouldn't miss and doesn't. 2 goals to Modra, both kicked in this quarter. And the Crows steady a little in still a very seesawing quarter. Don.
Maybe a free kick there against Jarman. It was picked out. Look at the way he twists, turns, balks. A lot of pressure. You can see the way the guys are going in. Jamieson. Modra really did well to get himself away from Zanotti.
The Crows by 5 points. Abbott versus Pittman. Centre of the ground as players pounce in on top of it. A couple of skill errors by Fitzroy on the back line. A couple of errant hand passes there, and they capitalise. We see on the right of screen there Michael Dunstan, West Australian recruit. Centre break, second quarter. 6 to Fitzroy and 2 to Adelaide. That's what you said, Don. You said they're going in very, very hard. Now, that was Tregenza to half forward. Caven. Well, that's Rowe. Now, Brett Stevens claiming Rowe gave him one then. And umpire Brett Allen about to bounce it. Pittman, the long arms go up. Plays in hard after this. Baldwin kicking it in mid-air. It's tapped back. Now, a free kick has been found out here to Fitzroy. And Jimmy Ryan is having a terrific game. He's a little terrier, gets into the packs. Now, gives the hand pass away. This is Paul Broderick. Broderick to the half-forward line. Another goal to Fitzroy. Goal nearly a mark to Hart. He didn't take it. Quick kick by Lee. The centre wing. There's Tregenza. Good skill there by Tregenza. Hand pass to Jamieson. And now on to Maynard. And now Brown. Brown on the left foot goes for home. He kicks it long. It'll bounce. Zanotti races back. But it is one behind only. Or is it out of bounds? I think it's out of bounds, actually. So it'll be a throw in.
Confrontation. Yes, out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Throw in beside the behind post. So goal. I think it's a goal. Yes, a goal, Lamarge. No, sorry. 5 points, Lamarge.
So a throw in the left forward pocket. Abbott, 39. Chris Groom, 50. Groom playing only his third game. The most inexperienced player in this Crows lineup. Rodney Maynard, well, there's the opposite. He's played in every game that they've played. That's a fine achievement by Maynard. Time ticking away under a minute now in this first half. Guard close to the boundary line. Oh, a little too close. So McDermott is tucked on the boundary line.
He's got 20 seconds.
And he's going to need a mark, or he's going to have to kick it because he doesn't know how much time is left. So he's probably lining up. Modra, he's moving around.
8 seconds.
Let's see the kick from 50 metres. They're going to need a mark. Modra is the flyer. Maynard is the flyer. On the siren, one behind. Oh, tight first half here at Football Park.
Nearly a mark to Maynard too, Sandy.
Yes,
very close.
But only a point. 6 points is the margin at the long break after the Crows kicked 4 in the first quarter. And Fitzroy have come back very strongly to boot 5 in that second term. So the scene is set for a big second half here at Football Park. Just repeating the scores, it is Adelaide that leads, but only just. 7-8-50, leading the Roys. 6-8-44.
The name of the game is Australian.
No Parkinson. Loading now. Over here. Mark are subject to citation. Contact 2.
Hey, I better touch base with the office.
Sorry, use
subscribed to the wrong network for this area.
Now that wouldn't happen down there. No way.
There's this outfit called MobileNet, Telecom MobileNet. An Aussie mate put me onto them. Amazing. I walked into one of their dealers and they got hundreds and hundreds. Really? And I got a number and it was connected just like that. And then the guy says, what sort of flexi plan would you like to be on? You mean I get to choose how little I pay? And then he says, why don't you think about it and call us back? Telecom MobileNet's open 24 hours a day.
Now that's service. Oh, and they arrange mobile phones, answering services, paging, you name it. They do it.
And you know what else, Beth? They do.
G'day!
Hey! Hey, who misses me already?
We do, Chucky. We do.
Telecom MobileNet. We're talking Australia's own.
Where do you go for $3 minimum trade-in, the largest selection of quality late model cars, and finance arranged in minutes? Bob Moran Cars, that's where. Where do you go to find people movers for around 45 or 50 bucks a week, or four-wheel drives for around $50 to $80 per week? Where? Bob Moran Cars. Now, where's the only place that can give you $3 minimum trade-in, finance in minutes, South Australia's largest selection, and double your warranty? Bob Moran Cars, that's where. Main North Road, Badindi, South Road, Brunella, open late Thursdays and all day Saturday.
Hire a new release of Video Mania and receive $1 Video Mania to spend on your next video hire, or save them up for free movie hires. That's right, $1 Video Mania for every new release you hire.
At Radio, you're number one.
If it only saves you once a year, it's a good year.
Agostino Mitsubishi, where you'll always get a fair deal. If not, I'll shave my mow off.
It's fantastic.
Incredible.
They say it's full of cheese.
Oh yeah, you can tell.
It's McDonald's Triple Cheeseburger. 1, 2, 3 slices of cheese, 3 all-beef patties with ketchup, mustard, pickles and onions.
It is full of cheese.
McDonald's Triple Cheeseburger.
I wish this could last forever.
No, it's only for a limited time.
It's magic time.
Sunday, Dr. Harry serves up a treat.
Fancy doing that at the Hilton.
Visit the Possums doing their bit for Aussie tourism. Join Kelly on an island paradise with a very special
I
chalk.
bet you didn't know we had one of those.
We'll take you out to the fantastic Superdog show, check up on Buddy the stage-struck pooch,
And his quest for stardom.
hear about the plight of the pandas, plus important tips on eye care.
Squeeze a little bit on your finger. I love you too.
The Commonwealth Bank presents #1 Family Fun, 6:30 Sunday on Channel 7. The latest in digital mobile phones.
A personal telephone number that can follow you around the world.
X-rays become 3D and turning plastic garbage into pure fuel.
Plastic gas.
Beyond 2000, 7:30 Saturday on 7.
Both sides back out on the ground here at the football park. The Crows were first out. They lead by 6 points as we go down to the boundary line. And Max Stevens. Max?
Thanks, Andy. Well, as one would expect, not a lot of joy getting into the Richmond rooms. I did have a talk to Gus Mitchell, the chairman of selectors, and he apologised, in fact, for the little outburst at quarter time. He said it was just the heat of the moment, a pressure game for Fitzroy. So I suppose in many ways we've kissed and made up. Adelaide, Graham Corns took them straight into the players' room within the rooms here of the Adelaide Crows. Very quiet early in the rooms as Graham walked in. The look on his face said it all. The key, what I could hear from the door, was they've got to man up to get back on top of Fitzroy. That is going to be the key to them getting right on top of the Roys. Looking at the injuries, Matthew Dundas, he came back on at the 25-minute mark of that quarter. He has had his ankle strapped and appears to be okay. Nigel Smart has a cork thigh. I've been told by one trainer that he is available, and one of the other officials told me that they probably won't risk him. It'll depend who comes off and what the situation is. So that's it from the boundary at the moment.
Thank you, Maxie. I think Max is a bit of a sadist, actually, when he mentioned Richmond there. Obviously, he was harking back to a few weeks ago when that played. But thank you, Max, for that report. And
Actually, sorry to cut across you there, Sandy, but McDermott, I watched him come out. I wonder how fit he is, because he didn't lead the team out, and he was very gingerly. There he is there, very proper as he came out at half-time.
He often looks that way, though, doesn't he?
but he's the captain of the side. But anyway, there's the stay, and there's one man who's really working hard, Tony McGuinness. Gee, that little twist he did in the second quarter, he didn't pick up many quick kicks, but he's a classy, and he runs.
Well, Jimmy Wind, he's one of my favourite players. Look at that, 12 and 5, and he just keeps burrowing in there, and he kicked a very vital goal down the left-hand end of screen.
Simon Tregenza, he's picked up that 20-odd possessions, but I'm a little critical. He doesn't get in there quick enough to get those bounce downs at the centre. That's why Fitzroy are taking it out of the centre.
Oh, look at Matthew Armstrong, 16 kicks, and usually they go 50 metres every time. 10 kicks in the first term, and he's a talented player.
Another centre-line player that picks up a lot of possessions, Anderson, but he's also got to get in a little quicker off centre wing.
Jason Baldwin's had a fine game, 9 and 9, and socket off the ground a few times. Doing well, Jason.
Right, here we go into the second half here at Football Park. Just one kick the difference between these two sides. Adelaide leading 7-8 to 6-8. In the centre was a bad bounce. Jarman tried to get the first touch of the quarter. They go to ground, still in the middle with McGuinness, Caban and co over the top.
That was interesting because they had Anderson running off the front of the square and brought Jamison around on centre wing to run in from that side with the Crows.
Another bounce. McGuinness got a touch to it. Could have been some holding on there against Baldwin. It goes unnoticed. Tregenza sneaks away for the Crows. Tregenza's long kick down towards the 50-metre line. Both were holding on, so play on. Brett Stevens charges towards the football. He's under pressure on that last line of defence, and Gale sees it over the line in not so subtle fashion. Throw in the right forward pocket. Guard fists it clear. Ball spills free to David Brown, or could have been taken high, was he? Very close to the boundary line.
Fitzroy have got Manson, James Manson, in the forward pocket. As we see there, Abbott doing the ruck work.
Against Groom. McGuinness tries to spoon a hand pass over the top to Anderson, who was forced to apply the tackle to Armstrong. Now Wine, but his kick is going to drop short. Tregenza takes the mark on the outer side. Jarman says, go into the pocket to Groom, and he does. Chris Groom going to be kicking from probably 47 metres. Playing in only his third game. Drop punt on its way. What sort of a start can he give them? Over the line for one behind. So a point on the board for the Crows, and this crowd, Pete, somewhat strangely quiet early in the third quarter.
Well, it's been a scrambly game, but that's due to the pressure applied.
Oh, it's been a great game.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
the pressure is fantastic.
Well,
the handball's terrific, and the way they're running, and the
I
skill
agree.
on occasions has been just top-notch.
I agree. It's a great game, Don, as we see Armstrong. Oh, beautiful kick that was to Abbott. Magnificent kick by Armstrong. Now, Abbott wants to play on. Now, that's good play to go out wide because he's got the loose man out there in Wine. Jimmy Wine can bring it in towards the half-forward line. Lynch and Ruse. At the back is Jarman. Gets it in towards, that was Pittman, in fact, he gave it to. And now both found
that
free
is
kick.
not right, umpire.
What happened, Don?
Well, he's getting it to McGuinness. Lyon tackled him. Okay, it was a hard tackle. And he's giving him the free kick because he believed that it was unnecessary what Lyon did.
So Tony McGuinness to centre wing. Up they go and they thump it over the line. Oh. What, was it hip and shoulder?
No, it was a tackle, a waist-high tackle. You know how you get a guy and you swing him to ground? Yep, well, okay, Lyon swung him pretty hard to ground. The umpire deemed it, I suppose, a little bit too late, but really there was nothing in it.
Well, centre wing, Abbott and Pittman. Abbott got that one down and players pounce on the ball. A little bit slippery out there. Apparently the ground was watered heavily yesterday. It's been pretty fine in Adelaide for a couple of weeks. As we see Chris McDermott. Brief shot of him. He and Jarman have been pretty well held. There's Bickley to the half-forward line, but Michael Gale goes back to save the day. Now Gale brings it to the centre of the ground. He's looking for Ruse. Ruse versus Jarman. Jarman wins out. Tries to get his boot to it. It's all Fitzroy. Ross Lyon. Handball's back over the head. John McCarthy taps it on. Goes to try and grab it again. He went without it. Here's Jamison. A quick kick to the half-forward line. The pack develops and they try to thump at the ground. The loose ball is with Brown. Brown. Gets it to Chris McDermott. He's caught. Great tackle that was. And away they come with a hand pass by Broderick. On the line, a chance for the Roys here. A hand pass. Paul Roos gets onto the right foot. He straightens up. He kicks a goal. It's very, very close, but he has missed. A bad miss.
I wonder why Lyon hand passed, because Roos was in front. He had to turn back to goal. Lyon could have run straight in.
I agree, Don.
Still one straight kick in it here at Football Park. If you've just joined us, this is Paul Rouvray coming in and finding his big ruckman David Pittman. Pittman to centre wing. Tregenza.
He's got a man up on Tregenza.
This has had a field day, picking up kicks at will. Scotty Lee moving down towards right half forward. Crows unable to break away.
The pack, there's just nobody to kick it to. Everybody's stationary.
Oh, you just kick it long, don't you?
Well, they're all leading.
That's what he does eventually. Towards the 50-metre line, Anderson. With him was Gale. At the bottom, guard. Seacamp in from the side. Gale again. Groom. Hurried left foot high. Kick gathers little distance, and it's marked by Paul Broderick. Plays on quickly. Seacamp. Jimmy Wine. Almost down to centre wing. The Roys running. To half forward. Pass was a beauty, and Alistair Lynch marks it, but he's still a long, long way out. Manson. Well, he centres it to half forward. Manson gets there a little late. McDermott, McGuinness. Tony McGuinness. Short, wanting Rouvray.
Quick Rouvray.
Back to McGuinness. Gets clear, and this time pumps that left foot long, but blindly. No one at home. Abbott takes the mark. Gives it off to Wine. Runs his full distance. Then puts the Roys inside 50. Manson has got to beat a couple of them. He can't do it. McCarthy is there also, but it's Tasker who gives it to Hart. He in turn gives it to Lee, and the Crows are out of trouble.
Well, that kick marked by Brown at half back. David Brown, left footer. The chip pass is dangerous because he's kicked it straight to Armstrong. Armstrong, the bomb. Oh, this will be a mark to Fitzroy.
Now, that wasn't supposed to go out there.
No, that was meant to go to the square.
Exactly right. It wasn't a good kick. It was a lucky kick.
But Lyon
was in front and
has taken the mark, and you could see him. He took a deep breath. As you watch when he takes his mark, takes a deep breath because he thought he almost lost it.
Now he's coming on too.
He's chipped it across, and this is Dean Harding. He's right in front. 25 metres out, directly in front. A chance to level the scores, and he's done exactly that. Scores dead level.
Harding, the boy from Wang Rovers, the team that produced Norm Bustle. And wasn't he a great Hawthorn stalwart in the early 70s?
He trained at Collingwood too.
He did too, actually, and Hawthorn snapped him up.
That's Harding. He's shown a bit of life since he's come on the ground too.
Scores level here at Football Park. It's a thriller. McDermott tries to palm it down to Jarman and McGuinness. Neither can take it. Stephen Rowe goes through strongly. Anderson, a long kick to full forward. Modra in front. No, said the umpire. Zanotti almost gave away the free kick. Modra still has possession. Gives it to the left foot of Anderson. Yes! From the fly. 2 goals to Greg Anderson. He kicked one in the first. Adelaide 8-9. Fitzroy 7-9.
Good passage of play. And desperate stuff too. Zanotti here holding. Look. Oh,
I don't know. That wasn't...
Tack come off the bench. They've replaced him with Groom. And on his right side, Anderson drifting down off centre wing. Playing actually forward of centre. He's running off the front end of the square for the Crows, Anderson.
The Crows by 6 points. Pittman, the big thump, looking for lick tank. He was caught high, yes. I thought it was a free kick. Roos. Oh, the pace of Tregenza. Tregenza races the ball towards the boundary line. Let's see if he can pick it up. A touch of the fumbles. Oh, keeps it in fact. Players trying to show a strength there. Jamie Elliott tipped the shoulder. Oh, here's Tregenza again from the boundary line. 45 metres, he centres it and kicks it straight to Broderick. That's not good play. Now he can give it across here to Seacamp. He does with a hand pass. Seacamp Looking for the long one to centre wing. Wiedemann in front. Read it well on line and too strong on that occasion. And better judgment. Wayne Wiedemann chips it across. He has found Jamison, who is...
Oh, look at Bickley by himself on right.
He's kicked it up to the half-forward line. Up they go. It's thumped away by the Roys. Racing in after it is Paul Roos. On to Stevens. Further afield. And that is by Abbott. Abbott towards centre wing. And a good mark taken by the captain, Chris McDermott. Tregenza having a picnic out on that wing as he brings it in towards half-forward. But waiting there is Paul Abbott again. And a holding decision on Zanotti.
Well, he's been doing it all night. He's got to wake up. He held Modra earlier, and we saw that, and he wasn't penalised.
Let's have a look. Well, no, I won't say let's have a look at it. We're not certain whether we'll see it. I shouldn't have said that, but no, we won't see that one. But
working with Daryl Evzenik.
There's Modra. You just want to see it. Modra from 30 metres directly in front, chips it, and he has goal. He's third.
Oh, Mark Zanotti really does live dangerously. He's third. And the Crows, 9.9.63. Fitzroy, 7.9.51. Modra, 3 goals, 2 tonight. This is 19th for the season. Good battle between he and Zanotti.
Still only 12 points in it here at Football Park as Abbott takes it out of the air. The Roys would love the next one. They go down to their half-forward line. No mark taken by Tasker. But the Crows play on. Back towards centre wing. Gale. Recovers well. Gives it off to Roos. Roos finds Seacamp. He spirals a kick up towards the 50-metre line. Big pack of players. Waiting down is Bickley, and he says, I'm heading for the boundary line.
It's interesting, Sandy, what they're doing. Fitzroy is starting Roos off the ball. His immediate opponent is Jarman. Jarman starts in the square, picked up by Broderick. As soon as the ball's down, Jarman goes and picks up Roos, and then the players, running players anywhere and everywhere around the ground.
Pittman from behind wins it. McGuinness got a touch for Alice Lynch, almost kicking in danger there. Harding tries to shovel it out. This is Armstrong. McDermott gets caught. Brown working hard. Again sees it over the line, much to the delight of this very, very good crowd.
Broderick is still picking up McDermott.
Another sellout here at Football Park. The team had the bye last week, so they were starved of a week's performance. They're getting a very good contest here tonight as Harding heads for goal with a long kick. Anyone take a mark? Sock it off the ground. No, and rushed over for one behind.
He's got his boot to it, Big James.
Chance was there, but he just couldn't quite do it. One behind, 7-10. But the Crows lead, they're 9-9.
Playing the huddle. The Crows.
Paul Rouvray from full-back. Oh, nice kick. Oh, Tasker's dropped it. And eventually it rolls to the line.
Now, when Fitzroy play the huddle, the Crows ring them, or have the outriders, but Fitzroy play a man-on-man situation. They all stay at the centre-half back, centre-half forward position, then lead.
The outriders, Don, a new term you've invented.
Watching too many Westerns.
As it's capped down, there's Jimmy Wine working hard, and the umpire will come in and bounce. At the 50-metre line, Fitzroy, they'll keep going at this same pace. They always do. And Jarman having plenty to say to Roos. It's not unusual for Andrew Jarman to be opening his mouth. He's a very vocal player. Half-forward flank. Pittman getting his hands to a lot of these bounces. And the players lock it in again. So it'll be a bounce. About 45 metres out from the Fitzroy goal. There's Tony McGuinness. A terrific first term. A little bit quieter in the second. Again, Pittman gets that hand to it. There's Ross Lyon. McGuinness read that well. On it goes to Tasker. Tasker to the centre wing area. Big Paul Abbott puts the hands up. Liptak races in after, but is forced over the line on centre wing.
Both teams seem to have numbers in their relative half-back lines.
Under 13 minutes remaining in this third quarter. A couple of important goals to the...
Now, is that a throw?
Many thought so at this ground. Lyon round his body with a left foot kick in towards full forward. A very good mark taken by McCarthy.
They combined earlier, Lyon and
McCarthy, wasn't that a good kick again? A great mark.
That's the way to kick the ball out wide and
You can lead in the space
low
with confidence.
into the space.
Well, he's going for his third. 11 points the margin at the moment. He's 40 metres out. The drop punt on its way. Looks a pretty good kick for goal, and he's got it.
Was a good kick. No reaction, though, from the crowd. Wouldn't that be frustrating? Or isn't it frustrating if you're Fitzroy, man? It was a beautiful kick for goal by McCarthy. Actually, this passage of play was terrific. Watch the way line. There he goes. Did it so well. Great mark.
Abbott won that hit out. But the Roy's, a throw, did he say that, Don? But it's a Fitzroy kick, and they trail by 5 points, but they're hanging in there. That's the main thing when you think the Adelaide are going to go away with it. And that was Broderick getting it to Seacamp. Seacamp to the pack. And is there a pack? There was about 10 players flew for that one. As Fitzroy go again through Jamie Elliott. He's still going. He's pretty thin, this kid, but look at him. Oh, he weaves his way through the pack, Elliott. A great goal! Sensational play, Jamie Elliott.
Now, should that be another free kick because the ball has more or less gone through the
free kick, Don?
No,
another one afterwards.
If it goes over the goal line, you get another free kick if the player goes down.
What about the play? Have a look at this.
You can call it,
Don. Have a look at this.
Now, watch the little fella. Here he comes. He's certainly filled out over the last couple of years. He'll get cleaned up here.
Oh, that was sensational stuff.
No, the ball hadn't gone over the line. It was a very late charge.
Jamie Elliott gets his first. It's one of the best goals you can hope to see. But more importantly, it gives the Lions the lead by 1 point with just over 11 minutes remaining.
What they can't, the Crows can't shake them off, can they?
They get a couple. Graham Corns anxiously looking on.
And the Crows are really getting numbers up around the ball. I noticed there, just as Elliott was taking that kick, that Modra and the Zanotti were the only two players on the Crows forward line, and they were both anchored in the goal square.
Look at the pack there.
About 70 of them there. So they should have a count.
Just a free to Pittman.
Oh, they're not allowed to have 70 on there, are you?
Well,
everywhere.
They're definitely holding the man then.
Pittman. Crows needing a steadier. The Lions by a point in a good, tight contest here at Football Park. Look at Maynard go in over the top. I think Jimmy Wine's down there somewhere. He is.
Fitzroy's form's been good, Sandy, hasn't it?
Oh,
they beat Carlton at Princess Park, and
well, it's right from the word go. They were semi-finalists in the Foster's Cup.
Yep.
And they've just carried it on. They have defied the odds, to use that well-worn cliche with this club, but that's exactly what they have done. And it's a credit to them. But it's not over yet. Their lead is only a point. Jamison.
Oh, that's a good kick.
Very clever.
Very
good. Just outside 50.
That was an intended target too.
Has been a prolific ball getter. Here's his kick. The Roy's leading by a point.
All the holes are filled too. He's just got to go long.
Going to take a good kick. He's going to be kicking from 55. Well, he's pulled it into the square. Big pack of players have gathered there. Ball gets a hurried kick. Doesn't get a lot of distance. Jarman. Bickley now. Back towards full forward. Modra had to beat a couple of them. Zanotti in front. Abbott at the back. Brown applying the tackle on Elliott. Ball spills free and over the line it goes. With another throw in.
Very quick handball by Broderick in the back pocket there. There's Elliott who kicked the last goal.
Point the difference. Just on 9 minutes. Rowe. McGuinness around his body. Pulls it back, but always out in the crowd.
Whitman did well again. He got that ball down.
Just looking around the crowd too. It is packed.
46,700 and 260 they had at the clash with the Eagles. I think the record's probably 46,722.
That's capacity.
Capacity. Well, it won't be far off it because it was a sellout. And as here comes the steaming Zanotti from centre wing. Lynch will be the flyer. Oh, he was the flyer too. Ross Lyons got a free kick. So Lyon will take it just outside 50. Fitzroy by a point.
Actually, that cost them then, Fitzroy.
He goes short. And it's effective. Manson takes the mark.
Well, here's the hard part of the game now for James coming up.
Oh, leave him alone. First of all, you say he's got a bun.
Full against Hawthorn when he first came to Collingwood as a full
5, didn't he?
Yeah, and did all right that day. Don't worry.
35 metres out. This to make the margin 7 points. Manson's drop punt. Oh, it looks pretty good. He's got it.
It's the name of the game.
There are a lot of colourful claims being made by light beers these days. So what's so special about Foster's Special?
The international version of Magna is making a big noise overseas. One reason is that it has a great V6 engine. Now Mitsubishi is proud to introduce the Magna V6 to Australia. Luxurious, refined, and with all the power you need. The Mitsubishi Magna Executive V6, sedan and wagon. A welcome addition to the Magna range.
Have you heard this? What about this? Well, how about this? Well, get this. The Company of Strangers. Simon Hussey, Jeff Scott, James Ray, Darryl Braithwaite. The Company of Strangers are strangers no more.
Unlike this ball, you don't bounce. Injury prevention authorities in South Australia confirm that falls from ladders cause serious injury, often requiring hospitalisation. The Miniscaf system, developed in South Australia, is safer and more comfortable. The Miniscaf, DLI approved, is quick to assemble, easy to move, easy to store. Can be made to go higher or wider. For that off-the-ground job, remember, you don't bounce, use a Miniscaf.
Come on, time to set the table. We all need to eat more breads and cereals. At least 5 serves a day. Thanks to the new Breads and Cereals cookbook, making healthy, nutritious meals is quick, cheap and easy. Just $6.95 from newsagents and selected supermarkets. Excellent!
Monday on Real Life.
I don't think anybody wants to go bald, really.
It's true.
Well, in my opinion, it works.
There is a cure for baldness.
Hello, wake up. It's time to grow again.
And tests prove it. How safe is your set of wheels? An exclusive report. We road test a variety of cars. The results will shock you. And buying a home? Adelaide's greatest real estate bargains. How to find the best value for money in surprise locations. Real Life. 6:30 Monday on 7.
For the very first time, you'll be spellbound by two of the screen's best. Academy Award winner Sean Connery and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Are you a spy?
I'm a friend. In the acclaimed motion picture by Australia's Fred Skepsey.
I am motivated by my love for Katja. No.
Is she the woman he really loves? Or the woman he must destroy?
I love you.
An unnerving blend of intrigue and romance. And an unbeatable cast.
Jump!
Mitsubishi presents The Russia House, Sunday on 7.
7 points the margin. Fitzroy leads. As it's tapped down again by Pittman. There's McDermott trying to work hard. Oh, there's Baldwin getting it to the half-forward line. Lynch is marked. Gee, another one here would be handy. Alistair Lynch will kick it into the pocket. The lead is on. No mark. Over the back. It's a push in the back. Umpire's paid a push in the back against Wayne Wiedemann. And let's see, is it Manson
Manson's
again?
got it, yeah, Manson.
James Manson. Well, let's have a look at it. Manson on the shoulder briefly by Ben Hart. Now James Manson for his second in a minute. As he kicks it, it's floating. Will it clear the packet? Will. James Manson's kicked 2.
You said he wasn't a good kick for goal.
I did not say that. I said this is the hard part coming up. He was equal to the task.
Well, he's made it look easy.
Did I get out of that?
Not really, no.
He has improved his kicking really over there.
He was always a good kick for goal. It's just a little awkward in the way that he executes it, that's all.
Well, we wouldn't believe this.
The important thing is the score's on the board. 76 plays 63. There could be silence here shortly. But the Crows will bounce back. Don't worry about that. Out of the middle, it's Baldwin, who takes it from Armstrong and goes with a high kick up to the half-forward line. Wiedemann at the back. Bickley over centre wing, but again, the kick not good. Abbott couldn't take the mark, but he's got a number of supporters, including Baldwin and Guard. Back to Abbott again. The big man goes long. Manson can't get back to take the mark. Oh, he's going to scout the crumbs, James, but he needs support. Lynch off his boot. Back into the pack once again. McInnes comes storming through, and he gets the Crows out of trouble. He has been a tireless worker, Tony McInnes.
Look at the Fitzroy players there.
All there, Brett Stevens tries to keep it in play. Was that out on the floor? Yes. Off the boot. Off the boot, it did come of Rodney Maynard. Wine being told to go on with the job. Centering kick into half forward, and suddenly this game has turned.
Fitzroy right on top at this moment, aren't they?
McCarthy to have a shot. He's booted 3.
And the scoring end is the other end too. Well, it has been in the first half anyway.
And that, of course, is what Fitzroy are going to be kicking to in the final quarter.
And he is quite capable, Sandy, of kicking this.
They lead by 13 points. McCarthy going for his 4th. What a shock to the system this will be.
Good kick.
For goal. That's a lovely kick for goal, and the Lions are saying, catch us if you can here at Football Park. 4 goals to McCarthy, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and they are pumped at the moment. 12-10, plays 9-9.
That's his 4th goal. 2 in the second, 2 in the third, McCarthy. A beautiful kick for goal. And Fitzroy going to make another change. Michael Dunstan warming up. Who is going to come off for the Lions? The runner's heading to the forward pocket.
The Lions by 19 points. This past 5 minutes, their football has been very, very determined, and that typifies it. Free kick. Little Jimmy Wine to the bottom of the pack again. He's having a terrific night. Wine to the half-forward line. You can see they're pumped up. Oh, nearly a mark McCarthy.
He
paid the mark. Well, he did have a very strong grip on it, but when he hit the ground, he lost it. It's all set to call it a mark. We're going to have a look. There he goes, McCarthy. Bang, he's got it. Oh, yes, I think
maybe
it's just about
pulled away from it. And Fitzroy have made a change. I think that's Harding. Is that Harding going off? It is.
Well,
Dunstan coming on. He's going into the forward line.
4 goals. The former North Melbourne utility player.
Same distance, Peter, too.
Yes, well, he's normally a long kick. The distance shouldn't be a problem. He lays back, he kicks, he's put it through for his 5th. Fitzroy on fire. Well, the crowd is shell-shocked here at Football Park. There is not a murmur.
There's going to be a few go out in these knockout tipping contests.
And we have a crowd very disappointing. 45,673, so the record is missed by some 900. And they are stunned at what they're seeing at the moment. 88 plays 63. Change, as we've seen, being made on the line bench. What can the Crows do?
They want it more at the moment, don't they?
Well, look at the desperation in the middle. You drop $5 there, you wouldn't go and get it. Seacamp, he charges away, but there's some holding. This is the ironical cheers go up as the free kick has gone to Rodney Maynard. Target is Modra. Yes! Oh, he's an exciting player to watch.
Yeah, but you couldn't blame Zanotti. I was watching Zanotti. He was in front, and he's got so much room in which to move Modra that Maynard could just take his time, and at the critical time, when Zanotti looked over the right shoulder, Modra had gone to the left and got away. You couldn't blame Zanotti on that occasion.
The Crows need it.
This for his 4th, and this to close the gap and to stop the run. 40 metres out. That's a lovely kick. That's a goal. 4 goals for Tony Modra, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, but more importantly, it steadies what was looking to be a somewhat sinking ship
The only thing that they can do in a set shot place like this is Fitzroy to get numbers back, just numbers. See Baldwin going back, but they've just got to get a few more. Maybe Abbott's just got to run down, put the head down and get back and help out. Maynard's going to the back line now. Stevens following him.
Well, the margin back to 19 points. 3.5 minutes to three-quarter time. A vital 3.5 minutes. Pittman caught. The Roy's try and crash their way through the centre. Fitzroy play a cop one in that pack. There's McDermott trying to muscle. He's been quiet, Chris McDermott. They've covered him well.
Well, he started pretty well.
Well, first quarter, yes. First half of the first quarter he did well, and then, well, they've tagged him out of it. And also Jarman, he's hardly been sighted. There's Abbott trying to get his boot.
He's doing a job on Roos too, Jarman, in all fairness.
Well, here's Armstrong going without it. McDermott flicks it up. Brown goes to ground. That was hip and shoulder by Lyon. That was fair enough. The crowd roaring for a free kick. Just under the 3-minute mark to three-quarter time. Fitzroy, if they're to win this game, would really want to hang on to that lead.
It's going to make for a great last quarter. It's going to be tight as a drum. So wherever you're viewing, I hope you can stay with us. Pittman gets the hand pass out to the Wiedemann. Long kick. Oh!
That's a sensational mark.
That is fantastic football.
Well, you couldn't blame anybody on that in that situation. A lot of pressure. Wiedemann could only do the right thing, and that was go long. Seacamp kept his eye on the ball, back. It takes a lot of courage to do what Seacamp did. So not attempting to punch, but what excellent play by Modra. You could not criticise anybody in that situation.
Strong hands too, Don.
Oh, that was just terrific from all three. They all attempted to do the right thing.
One for Mark of the Week, but he's now got to convert. He does. Oh, what a game. The Crows come back.
5 goals, too. He's got an incredible conversion rate. That's 21 goals, 6 for the season. Terrific. Look at this passage of play. Look, Seacamp, eyes on ball, doing the right thing. Takes a lot of courage to do what he did. But the man coming out on top, there he is in screen. He's kicked his fifth.
Purely and simply a case of a class mark. That was a great mark by Modra as we go back to the centre. I said it was a vital couple of minutes. This could be dangerous for Fitzroy again as Liptak to the half-forward line. It's over the back. Mark Zanotti kicks it with a wobbly kick. He wants to go to the line, and he will be happy to see it roll over.
It was bad play by Fitzroy because it was Liptak who got in. Nobody ran in with him. Now, what they've been doing is everybody's been running in, making a contest. They didn't do it on that occasion.
So they lead by 13 points. Fitzroy trying to sock it off the ground was Big Abbott, still on centre wing with Brown. He hands it over to Pittman. Now on to Tregenza, who's had he's up to possession. Here's Modra! Wow, looks like Tony Modra's going to be the hero. Magnificent mark again. They might have to make a change here and get Alistair Lynch to full back.
Under a minute remaining.
I know. I said that 3 minutes.
Important.
Tony Modra, have a look, Don.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, that is a great mark again, but they might have to move Zanotti now and get Alistair Lynch down there.
In all fairness to Zanotti, he was blocked in by Jarman.
I know, but this guy's on fire.
This for number 6.
They've got Alistair Lynch to put there, of course.
And they're doing it, actually.
Tony Modra kicks, and he puts for goal number 6. What a game of football. A great 5 minutes of football by this exciting full forward, and a bad couple of minutes for Fitzroy.
He's kicked 4 in this third quarter, and they've made the change of Lynch going down there to full back. Zanotti, and just watch who's going to... Is he coming off the ground? No, he's going up forward. Lynch has been a good player down at centre-half forward for Fitzroy. We've got Caven there now.
What an amazing turnaround. What a comeback. Pittman slams it out of the middle. Have they got time for another one? Ross Lyon could have been held. Play goes on. These players are going to be dog-tired at the end of this final quarter. There's only seconds remaining for this third term. It is, in fact, three-quarter time. So the scene is set. This crowd giving both teams a standing ovation, but the scene is set for a wonderful last quarter at three-quarter time. Fitzroy lead 13-10. 88. Adelaide 12-9, 81.
The name of the game is Australian.
The new look Fast Forward is coming.
Is that a promise?
But here's a special introductory offer. Fast Forward Exposed. How they make those great commercial send-ups.
It's about stripping people of their dignity.
How they make the music that makes you laugh. How they write it, plan it, and most of all, the sheer fun of making it. Behind the scenes is even funnier.
Jump in your frock and into makeup.
Toyota presents Fast Forward Exposed. Tuesday, 9:30 on 7. You'll love it.
Look at the special price on this new release Dorf tapware from Plumbing World. Heritage Basin Set, $259. Save up to 54,000 litres of water per year with this new release Concord Uniset Toilet Suite for $175. The Acronite New Line Vanity Unit is now $375. A Wad Crystal Bathroom Cabinet, $59.50. And this Dorf Studio Basin Set is only $259. If you're building or renovating, special prices are available. Call out to Plumbing World showrooms open 7 days. Stepney open Thursday night.
Drop your normal weekend entertainment plans and head for the Orange Lane Market between Osmond Terrace and Edward Street, Norwood. Everything from bric-a-brac and collectibles to hand-painted clothing, tarot reading and delicious foods are there in Adelaide's only real European-style flea market atmosphere. Undercover every Saturday and Sunday with a Sunday treasure trove in the car park from 12 noon. Traders, phone and see how easy it is to set up a store. Drop into the Orange Lane Market this weekend and discover what flea markets are really all about.
Every day, more than 400 cars are stolen in Australia. Steering wheel locks have saved many cars, but until now they've been heavy and cumbersome. The Onger Pro Lock has changed all that. It's compact enough to store safely out of the way and extends easily to fit any car. It locks instantly. The remarkable Onger Pro Lock comes with a $1,000 guarantee rebate against car theft.
Available from Kmart, Rocker Brothers, Motormate and all leading auto accessory stores.
Strike the treble with this fabulous new Trebles range of compact discs and cassettes. 3 CD packs only $19.95. 3 cassette packs for only $14.95. You'll love these titles: the Instrumental Collection, the Best of Broadway, the Patsy Cline Collection, Hooked on Rock and Roll, and the Ballroom Dance Collection. Treble 3 packs, 3 CDs for less than $20. That's incredible value. Look for this stand tomorrow.
Moonlight on the bayou, shining on the Everglades. Way down river in the swampland, where the blues were born and the brothers played. The heart of Louisiana, and in a voodoo eye. On the Mississippi Delta in New Orleans is where I know I find. Louisiana hospitality, Cajun angel down in New Orleans.
Round 4 continues on the weekend. Collingwood and the Saints tomorrow. Hawthorn and the Cats tomorrow at Waverley, and North and Melbourne, whilst on Sunday Sydney and the Bombers up in Sydney, followed by the Eagles and the Bears in Perth. Carlton, Footscray and Richmond all have the bye. It's three-quarter time here at Football Park, and this is a thriller. A 7-5 term, and Fitzroy let a very good lead disappear. 12-9 plays 13-10.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
I hope you can join us for Sports World every Sunday morning on 7, 9 Eastern Time, 8:30 in Adelaide. It's going to be a very big Sports World this Sunday. All the football around the country. Plus, of course, it's the Sydney Cup Carnival in the New South Wales capital. That's Sports World on 7. Down to the boundary line, Max Stevens. Maxie.
Thanks, Andy. Well, Robert Shaw spent a lot of time looking at the Magna board, and I think you'll find he's going to make a few changes in this last quarter. Fitzroy, they deserve to win. Their attack and persistence has outweighed the Crows tonight, according to Robert Shaw. Graham Corn's very cool under pressure. maybe the Crows suffering the effects of the bye or the overkill of publicity, particularly here in Adelaide. Fitzroy is being allowed to control things, again running right, loose men everywhere. From Adelaide's point of view, thank goodness for Tony Modra, only 5 minutes of positive football in that third term.
Yes, thank you, Max. An interesting point about the publicity, particularly after the Eagles match, because there was plenty of it, but didn't this game turn around due largely to the performance of one full forward?
Yeah, it's magnificent performance by Modra. He is a big leap and he is very, very good overhead. As you see another one of his marks here, great mark.
I see the centre break. Well, they've started to even up a little bit. Fitzroy 12. What about the handballs? 108 to 71.
Look at the possessions to Fitzroy, Don.
And Jarman Peter is starting on the forward line for Adelaide. He's been picked up by Stevens. Now he was starting in the centre square.
Right, here we go. The final quarter here at Football Park. 7 points the margin, favouring Fitzroy.
Manson on the ball.
45,673 fans cramming into Football Park. Manson gets the first touch of the final quarter. McDermott gets the first kick, however. Down towards the right half-forward line. The diving attempt to mark was not successful. Pushed towards the line. Look at Wiedemann go. With brute strength he gets clear, but Lyon has the last say as he sockers it back to the wing. Trying to storm his way through was Paul Broderick. He was successful. Now Abbott, still on centre wing. First goal in this last term is going to be vital. Zanotti. He's lost it. Well, he had it, then he lost it. Back to the middle.
Roos is playing at centre half forward. I think he ran off from that position.
He's got the football now, Don. Paul Roos. McGuinness can't get there in time, and Jimmy Wine takes the mark.
Great kick by Roos then.
So Wine. This has been the scoring end predominantly. That kick is a poor one. It drops short. It may work in the Lions' favour. Baldwin, a high kick, very high, difficult one to mark. Oh, an opportunity now. Zanotti!
Goal!
Oh. He loves it, look at him! Oh, the wild man's broken through from one end of the ground to the other.
Well, you really don't know whether to kick a goal or not, because there's absolutely no reaction at all from the crowd. The only here it is, Zanotti, who started at full back, comes out, and we just wait on some reaction, but there's nothing from the crowd.
I've never seen a grin like that in my life. Yeah. Have a look at that. Ben Hart. Well, he'll fight it out up there, Zanotti. He's had a few goals kicked on him, but he'll keep trying. Now, there's Wine. Was he held? Umpire said no, so the umpire will come in and bounce. But a handy goal to start the final term, and look at Jimmy Wine. Always there, isn't he, Don?
It's an interesting move taking Jarman. I'm just pondering. I'm not worried about it. Well, I'm interested more in Jarman, why they've taken him off Roos. They've got him on the forward line.
Wiedemann giving the ball back to half forward.
That's fair enough too.
Caven to the half forward line. Players set the top.
Too tall.
Paul Abbott.
That's 50. Should be 50.
Plays on now. Abbott up towards half forward. Big pack of players. No one able to take the mark. Jarman tried to get it out. Because they're holding Brett Stevens at the bottom, but you can hear the cheers go up. It's a Crows ball from half back. Bickley towards centre wing. Tapped over the back. Trying to accommodate McGuinness. He was held. He didn't have the football. Advantage paid. And dangerous here because the mark has been taken by Liptak. Just 45 metres out. 94 plays 81. 13 points favouring the Roys at this stage. Liptak's kick is a beauty. 7 points the margin here at Football Park. First goal to Matthew Liptak.
Struggled last week, Matthew Liptak. He's been on and off the bench tonight. I suppose a professional free kick there by Wind against McGuinness, but he quickly played on. That was good by McGuinness, and Liptak, only a little fellow, but covered a lot of distance with that kick.
The Lions by 7 points.
87 plays 94. Peter McKenna's lost his voice in all the excitement. Who can blame him? Out of the middle. And another bounce to take place. But in the Crows' attacking zone, they lead by 7 points. Big pack of players around this ball. None of them have been easy to win. Guard, he's a very good tackler, Jeremy Guard. He's got very good early statistics, and that's another one. Lyon, dodging, twisting, turning too long. Had nowhere to go, no help. And at the bottom of the pack is Paul Rouvray.
Manson playing as a loose man in the back line for Fitzroy.
Pittman wins it. Gale can't get an effective kick away. Lee and Broderick lock arms, and Wiedemann is down there as well.
Fitzroy playing a 5-man forward line. The Crows a 3-man.
Pittman trying to do it with the right hand up against Manson. And again, the pack unable to get it out. You've got that voice back, Pete?
Something went wrong with the microphone, I think, but we're back in business as we see centre wing. 7 points the margin. Fitzroy leads. Next goal, vitally important. That's McGuinness working hard again to the half-forward line. Flying for it was Caven. He went without it. The umpires found a free kick. It'll go the way of Adelaide at half-forward. Now, this is Stephen Rowe. Rowe brings it in towards the pocket. Modra and Lynch. Lynch at the back. Can't take the mark. That's Guard getting it to Ruse. Out wide was Elliott. A sweeping hand pass, or a bad one to Lynch, but he locks it in, and the umpire will come in and bounce. So it's at the 50-metre line. David Brown coming up from the bottom of the pack. The Crows will have this 45,000 crowd roaring for them in this final quarter. And will give them a big lift. That's Pittman against Manson. Players again racing after it. Now it comes out, but in the meantime the umpire will bounce.
Ruse is now playing as a loose man in defence. Abbott at centre half forward for the Lions.
Well, Pittman again that time versus Manson. Oh, he's danger for Fitzroy as Greg Anderson hooks it back towards the pocket, but he only succeeds in putting it over the fence out on the full. So Ruse will take this kick at half back. Well, actually further towards the back pocket. Now he comes across the ground to Lynch. Two class players combining. Alistair Lynch now, he should chip it in short here. The ball went, he gets a dangerous bounce. He goes and gets it again. He's pretty quick forward on the left foot to Dunstan. The loose ball is with Wiedemann. Wiedemann on the left. Hooks it back to half forward. The players set themselves. Oh, he stood there underneath. He dropped it. Not paid to see Camp. Stephen Rowe gets it to Jamison. It was a good smother. Jimmy Wine takes it away and kicks to the half back. No mark. Gale goes in after. Jarman is there. Now Chris McDermott brings it up in front of goal. Modra, he had three to contend with. They dive in on top of the ball. There'll be a bounce in front of the Crow.
Terrific game. If you're not turned on by football tonight, there is something really wrong with you. The skills these players are showing.
I haven't seen you turned on like this for a long time, Donald.
You see so many football games, and a lot of them are insipid.
Great game.
But this is terrific tonight.
From the bounce, a chance for the Crows to score. Back to Tregenza goes Rowe. Back to Rowe. Back to Tregenza. In the goal, Tregenza. Yeah! Simon Tregenza gets his first. A point the difference in a thriller, but it's the Roys who still lead.
Gee, did he run too far, Tregenza? There's Rowe. Tregenza back.
No.
10 steps. That's his first, the wingman. Drifting deep into the pocket. Getting away from Baldwin.
Fitzroy by a point. The Crows are coming back hard after that great goal by Tregenza. The umpire says, play on, boys, as it's shuffled out there to Ruse by Wine. It comes inside to Broderick. Broderick, another hand pass on to Ruse. He's leading the way. Ruse in towards full forward, but Ben Hart with pace
kicked away from Zanotti.
There's no one for him to kick it to.
No, he's kicked it into the space. Baldwin will lead in the race for the ball, but it rolls over the line. Good kick that by Ben Hart because he really didn't have anyone.
This game reminiscent of the Fitzroy Crows clash a couple of years ago.
Yes, when that unfortunate last 2 minutes for Fitzroy. Really unlucky that night as we see Wiedemann sweeping the back of the pack. They love him here as he... A beautiful kick too to half forward. Oh, another one by Seacamp. That is dangerous. Jarman to Modra. Modra and Lynch. Lynch is right with him. Lynch goes back after it. Modra off the ground. He can't get it. He goes to try and get it again. He's grabbed. Sucker up the ground by Brown. It rolls over the line for a goal. No touch. It was touch. Oh, boy, the crowd was up. Oh, boy, was that touched. That's the next thing. Oh, it looked like a goal as Lynch brings it back into play to Manson. I didn't look as though it was touched. I thought Brown was clear.
Well, scores are level. 94 apiece. Pittman in from the side. Can't complete the mark. Baldwin gets it out to Caven. Who can get the next score? The Roys go forward. The kick is by Matthew Armstrong over centre.
Oh, Mark.
What a tremendous mark taken by Michael Dunstan. Dunstan to the half-forward line. Roos. And Paul Roos directly in front, but 60 metres out.
Should kick long. Quickly. He's got to get it down quickly.
Yes. That's what he's doing. The drop punt is long. Into full forward. Can anyone take a mark? Off hands. Baldwin.
Good tackle.
Ball filled free. Bursting in is Dunstan. No one able to get it out. And in that tangled web of players is the football.
I thought you were going to break in the poetry.
Oh, what a thriller. What a thriller. 94 apiece. 16 minutes remaining. Still a ton of time. Pittman has strength. He gets it off to Lee, who finds Rouvray. Out of trouble go the Crows. Back towards centre wing. Only as far as guard. And he lives by his name. And guards that ball with Chris McDermott. Still in the Roos, well, the Lions forward line down to Roos. Couldn't take it. Free kick. Well, advantage is paid. Play on is the call. This could be very costly for the Crows as one behind is the result. But it does give Fitzroy the lead. Matthew Armstrong. He kicked one in the second quarter.
He's drifted out of it.
14-11, plays 14-10.
That's where that advantage rule doesn't work. Yeah. Sometimes the umpire paid the advantage and it worked to Fitzroy's advantage.
Ben Hart brings it back into play.
Too much.
Pittman. He had to beat a couple. McGuinness is his only assistant. McCarthy, did it with enormous skill. Off to Armstrong. He's caught. Ball spills free. Play on once again. At the back, Baldwin. Baldwin goes in towards goal and has missed again. Away to the right. Another behind. 2 points is Fitzroy's lead. But the Crows seem to come at them, Pete, in waves, don't they? Yeah. They did in the third quarter.
This is where they look dangerous, Sandy, when they've got it here with Hart, because they'll break. Look, they just give it away so easily, don't they?
Rouvray, he'll look out wide. Oh, bad kick by Rouvray, a shocker. Onto Dunstan. He can give it to Roos. Roos is going to bomb it in long here. He's hoping that someone can jump and take a mark. Manson is there. The ball hits the deck. Who's there? It's Tony McGuinness. Kicks to the space. It's Guard leading in the race with Brown. He runs at the ball. Skill shown by Guard. That was good play. Broderick over the top. It was a wild hand pass, but Gale might get there. He waits for it. He hooks it back to the half-forward line. Players set themselves under it. Zanotti is there. He can't take the mark. Jimmy Wine dives, but the ball has beaten him over the line. Half-forward for the Roys. They lead by 2 points as an attractive-looking Crow supporter looks on Sandy.
Throw in. Pittman, Manson, lock arms, Pittman.
Oh, he didn't have it,
did he have it? Well, the umpire said go on with it. So he does. And there's a snap at goal. That looks pretty good for a goal.
It's the name of the game.
Some light bitters seem to lose that crisp, clean taste after a couple of glasses. So what's so special about Foster's Special?
You listen to their story. True colors come shining through. Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. till we get our hands on you.
Tuesday, you can help police solve the murder of a young girl whose late night out ended in tragedy.
Someone out there must know what happened to my daughter.
They've broken into factories using the same method every time, escaping with goods worth millions of dollars. Do you know the whereabouts of Margaret Ann Burney? And maybe you know who assaulted a young student who lost the sight in his right eye because of a merciless attack.
The attack on James Plester was particularly vicious.
Australia's Most Wanted, 8:30 Tuesday on 7.
2 goals to Ross Lyon, and Fitzroy leads by 8 points from the centre. Pittman comes over the top, but Wine pushes wide to the wing. Anderson can't get clear of Gale. Armstrong a chance. Gale soccers off the ground. It goes to the outer wing and rolls over the line as these players must be getting very tired. It's been a warm day. It's been a great game and still anybody's match. Abbott and Pittman. At the back, Wiedemann, McCarthy 25. Armstrong has been very busy. No free kick is given, Donald. McGuinness somehow gets it out where it's socked off the ground. Rouvray off to Lee. Scott Lee over the top. Now they can start something here, the Crows. Tregenza can run. 2 bounces. Bang from 55. Poor kick. Alistair Lynch.
Modra will find it a lot different on Alistair Lynch.
My word. He goes short, and it's okay. Mark taken by Paul Broderick. Wide to Armstrong.
He should have a few bounces.
Well, he ambles.
Slow down like that, Sandy.
Oh, he's walking.
Got to keep the pressure on.
The centre wing. Good attempt by Rouvray to mark Lee, but eventually he runs out of room and a throw in on centre wing. Well, the Lions are leading by 8 points, and we've got just over 12 minutes here.
Centre wing. Fitzroy might remember that game of 2 years ago. I'm sure that Robert Shaw would remind them. They've got had a game snatched in the last 2 minutes. A bad hand pass, a bad skill error. The players are tired, but McGuinness weaves his way out of the back. On to Tregenza. Simon Tregenza a bounce. He should kick it now. He does. He brings it in towards half forward. Lynch in front. Gets it to Seacamp. Good play, Lynch. Oh, dangerous play to bounce in that situation. He backed himself in, though. Here's Jimmy Wine. Hand pass over the top to Stevens. Stevens on to Abbott. Abbott a quick kick to the half-forward line. Fitzroy going in very hard. McCarthy goes to ground. Was that a free kick? No. Bickley. Good play, Bickley. On to Pittman. Now McDermott. McDermott to the half-forward line. Lynch playing down there now on Modra. Free kick. Oh, no. Yes, he was grabbed by the jumper, Matthew Liptak. I know you're disappointed, Don. He was grabbed by the jumper. Free kick, Matthew Liptak. A vital kick coming up. Have a look at it. Lynch grabbed him. Yes, dragged him back by the jumper. Matthew Liptak for his second kicks. It floats back. I think it's a point. I thought that got up. I was going to put 2 fingers up then. And Matthew Liptak. Well, what's that now? 7 points the margin. Fitzroy still lead. Great game of football, Sandy.
Yes.
Not too many options. Sorry, Sandy, there's not too many options for Lynch when he kicks out because they're all covered by the Crows.
Under 11 minutes remaining. Still plenty of time for either side to win this football match. Tackling has been good right from the outset. Jarman's hand pass. He wanted Brown. Ball may sneak away. Off to Jeremy Gard. Wiedemann late
about all
on
you
him.
can do.
Jarman. Look at the skills there. Bowls it in towards full forward. It just about clean bowls everyone. And Alistair Lynch sees it over the line in the right forward pocket.
See Lynch 2 metres in front of Modra every time that ball has come down this last quarter.
Well, it's in their attacking zone. The margin is 7 points. The Roys hanging on. Pittman tried to get a kick from the throw-in. McGuinness gets caught, slings it free. Rose under a ton of pressure. So too is Brown. I tell you what, it's tough in there. It is tough in there.
The part of football, Don Scott, you love that, don't you? Those packs.
Well, listen, no, it's not that. It is pressure, and when your players going at it like they're going now.
Rowe. Over the top. Oh! Modra. Tries to soccer it on, and it's effective. Anderson will do the shepherding work. The snap round the body is resulting in only one behind.
See, there was terrific shepherding done by Jarman out there in centre on Stevens.
And what about the tackle of Lynch? He came in on Modra. He swooped, I thought Tony Modra was going to get clear.
Who kicked that for him?
Liptak. Well, there's Alistair Lynch. He's setting the way down there. He's got the full forward covered at the moment. Gale kicks it in short. There's Jimmy Wine. Now, Wine to centre wing. Maynard is a good overhead mark. It hits the deck. There's Tregenza again, but he's kicked it straight to Jimmy Wine, who's had a terrific game.
What ought to draw?
Oh, you never know. Well, I think Fitzroy on the night have been the better side.
Yeah.
Broderick had a lot more of the ball. There's Stevens to the half-forward line. Paul Rue gets in a quick hand pass. Stevens, that's good play, Brett Stevens. Because when in doubt, slam it on the boot and head
full
to the
of pressure,
line.
he couldn't do anything else.
I know, but it's good. He could have tried to finesse and do a fancy turnaround on. It's at half-forward for Fitzroy. Long way out from goal. Ruse was holding on to Pittman. There's Maynard. Now McGuinness. Now Pittman. Tapped on. Taken away by Rowe. Rowe on to Scott Lee. Lee to the half-forward line. It's over the back of the pack as Jamie Elliott races at the ball. He's very, very thin, but look at him weave his way through the pack, the young fella. And he brings it in towards half-forward players. Free kick to the Crows for a push in the back. Play on, advantage paid as it's taken away by Scott Lee.
Long kick up towards half-forward. Abbott was in front, couldn't take the mark. Elliott ripped off the ball. Guard gets a hurry kick out to Gale. He doesn't take the mark, but he's got a bit of room. Around Anderson. Up towards centre wing. Lee is there. He's headed for the boundary line. Lee might get there in time to keep it in play. He does. Steadies, then goes for the hand pass. The Crows trying desperately to go forward. Maynard gets it away. Now the opportunity is with the tired Anderson. Kicks towards centre wing. McGuinness under pressure from Wine. In goes Wiedemann. The ball spills free. Anderson again round his body. A high kick to the half-forward line. Big pack of players. Abbott's got the heart. Abbott took the mark. The fans don't like it here, but he did, and he gets the hand pass out to Broderick. Off to Gale. Gee, this game's got everything. Gale. Again, that kick drops short. Scott Lee takes the mark.
Look, there were 4 Crows back there to 1 Ruse.
Under 7.5 minutes remaining, there is 1 kick in it.
Oh, big leap.
Big leap, but no mark, Donald. Jarman over the top. Stevens can't get an effective kick away. Broderick is there. Stevens again. He leaves it for Gale. Back to Stevens now. He's caught. Play on. To the 50-metre line. At the back is Liptak.
He posed a problem in this last quarter, Liptak. A real problem.
Kicked 1 goal. That's in this quarter. He wastes no time. He heads for...
Goals to Matthew Liptak. Gee, he's been on and off the bench, but he's certainly come into it a real opportunist this last quarter.
I'll tell you what, is that a photo finish, that goal too?
With Lynch over the line.
Oh. Back in the centre, scores a level. Jimmy Wine, as usual, comes out of it. To the half-forward line, the bounce of the ball, vitally important here. Taken away by Greg Anderson. On the McGuinness.
Still running.
McGuinness to the pocket. There is no one there at the moment for the Crows. Seacamp will probably go to the line, and he does. But most importantly, as Stephen Rowe tries to umpire the game there, it will be a throw-in at half-forward and a happy supporter. And I think she's a Crow supporter. Not too many Fitzroy here tonight. When they score a goal, there's not a murmur. Scores a level. Abbott. Coming over the top was Caven. It's a loose ball. Oh, he did it well, Broderick. He's been an excellent player. He's done well on McDermott. The kick in towards half-forward. It's taken by McCarthy. They need a goal here, Fitzroy, to lift them. Here's Jimmy Wine chipping it across the ground to Baldwin. They've got to kick it long now.
There's plenty of movement, Peter, on that forward line.
He's got to bomb it in long. He does. He gets onto a torpedo punch kick. Pittman is back there. The ball hits the deck. It's a loose one. A hand pass comes out to Jarman. The Crows are up and running. The short chip. Brown, centre of the ground. David Brown swings onto the left foot. He brings it in towards Modra and Lynch. Modra and Lynch. He did it well, Lynch. Taken away by Stevens. Beautiful smother by Liptak. Players go to ground, they race in after all. You've got to try and hook it out. And the umpire will come in and bounce, no doubt here. Pressure personified will be a bounce. What about Liptak?
Tremendous. Fantastic. 102 apiece. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Gale tries to get out of the pack. He can't.
Tackle.
Ridden into the ground.
Let it go. Yes, he should have been let go then.
Well,
he's not pulling it back.
Yes, he is.
Come on.
Settle down, Don.
Well, what a game. 5 minutes to go.
Elliott kicked one of the golds of the night in the third quarter. It was just sensational stuff. There's a time hand
pressure.
pass. And pressure, yes, as Don called it. Fitzroy have the chance.
Well done, Lyon.
He's still going at the bottom of the pack. With him is Tregenza. The ball spills free now. Look at the tackle of Jarman. Baldwin hassled by Lee. Ball breaks free. Out comes Rouvray. Hurried kick over the centre. Crows have the numbers. McDermott steadies it down. Scores are level. In towards Modra. In fact, over the top. And still no score because the ball drifts over the line in the left forward pocket.
Isn't McGuinness fantastic the way he just keeps on running? He's the only live wire out there. Maybe Liptak as well, but he's doing all his work on the forward line. But McGuinness is running.
4:20 and counting down. They're dog-tired, all these players. They've put up a mighty performance, all of them tonight, and they're to be congratulated. Wiedemann. If you wanted an advertisement for the game, Don, you couldn't go past this, could you?
You're not wrong. Man shaking his head.
Half-forward flank for the Crows. Scores level. Fitzroy will desperately try and get it out of here. Jamison goes to ground, and the umpire sensibly will bounce again. Umpires have been under pressure tonight, Brett Allen and Peter Carey with this 45,000 people yelling for the Crows. It puts an umpire under enormous pressure. They've done pretty well. As we said, at half-forward with Rowe. Rowe brings it in towards Modra and Lynch. Lynch has backup support from Caven. Oh, he went to play on, and then the umpire... Well, they normally call play on when you do that. Now, back it comes to Alistair Lynch. Lynch to the half-back line. Up they go. Roos couldn't take it. Maynard. Now Rowe. Rowe steadies. He brings it in towards half-forward, and the mark has been taken there by Brown. Distance adapt. And one out there. Modra and Lynch. And one out in the square. David Brown will have to kick 55 metres. There's the kick up towards the square. 2-on-1. Modra is there. Oh, Lynch has dropped it. Knocked away by Gale. Here's Big Abbott. Soccers it off the ground. Rowe again. Handball's back. A quick kick. Jamison. Oh, he's hit the post. But they lead by a point. Yeah, but that's probably... no, was it Pittman who kicked it? I thought it was Jamison. It might have been Pittman, but it's a point, and Adelaide leads. They've got one last hurrah here. Fitzroy have to go up the middle. And they have to race it up now and score a goal.
Well, there's still 2.5 minutes remaining. There's still plenty of time for either side.
That's a good hit on by Stevens.
Pittman. The big man gets caught. Wiedemann tries to use brute strength to get through. Jarman.
Just kick it off the ground. That's all you can do.
Oh, look at the tackling. It's fantastic. Ball to Abbott. Off the mark taken, not paid.
Well done, McCarthy.
Quickly they pounce upon him. And a bounce. But it's in Fitzroy's attacking zone just.
A draw would be great, wouldn't it, really?
Well, it's going to be very sad that one of these teams is probably going to lose. Jarman. Long kick. But in front, Caven.
Got to keep going down the centre.
Under 2 minutes remaining.
Well, look at this.
Now they've got the players here. Armstrong. To half-forward. Tregenza couldn't take the mark. Zanotti, he kicked a goal at the start of his final quarter, and he thought it was sensational. He's still going. He's up against Ben Hart. Baldwin takes him out. Crows steady. Over the line, they love that.
Well, that's in rugby terms. He's going for touch. It was a terrific kick. Lyons on the bench. Ross Lyon, Bogle on the bench.
Just over 1 minute remaining. Beckley, Tregenza. Long floating puck kick to the half-forward line. Caven at the back. There's just on 1 minute remaining. Oh, careful, he's heading for the boundary line. They're calling for a delivery, but they're not getting it.
Well, Baldwin's got to just stick with Tregenza. Tregenza got that ball down. He's got to stay with him all the time. He doesn't go into the play. He stands on the outside and it comes out each time. The Royals have got 45 seconds in which to get it up and score at least a point. It's at half forward for the Crows, and umpire Brett Allen will come in and bounce. The time's hopping there down. The Crows, 32 seconds. They've got it. They've got it. Well, no, not yet. The bounce. Fitzroy have to clear it from this pack. Oh, there's valuable time, Sandy.
20 seconds remaining. 20 seconds and counting down. 1 point the difference. Fitzroy need a long kick. The Crows want to bottle it up. Abbott tries to keep it in play. Stevens gets a hurry kick towards centre wing. Jimmy Wine's got to beat a couple. He can't do so. McGuinness is first to recover. They're going to win it. Here comes the side.
Look at that crowd in unison.
What a thriller, Don.
Well, what a fantastic sight. As soon as that siren went, the crowd in unison stood to its feet. And listen, you've got to take your hats off to your hat off to each of those players out there tonight. Fantastic. Just pity there's got to be a laser, Peter. Yeah, should have been a draw. Unfortunate for Fitzroy.
Well, Crow fans and the players excited. Let's go down onto the ground. Here's Max.
Thanks very much, Matthew. Left tack. I tell you what, they don't get any closer. You got out of jail tonight. Is that fair?
I think we did it before. We do it again. Boys is playing tough, hard footy the whole game, and it's just great to see that we can come back from a deficit during the game. It's good.
Just tell me, do you think the bye and maybe the overkill on the publicity sort of went against you tonight a bit too lackadaisical?
No, definitely not. Fitzroy played very well. Can't take anything away from them. We just came home strong and strong enough to win. It's great.
But you're happy with that last goal you kicked?
Bloody oath.
And what about Tony Modra? I mean, he sort of got you back in there. The ball had to get down to him, but he did get you back in the game.
He's a great player, and he takes a great grab. And if he keeps firing like this for a year, and we've got Scotty up, trying to get back into the team, we're looking good up there.
Okay, Matthew, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Max. Matthew Liptak quite rightly paying full credit to Fitzroy, who played superbly tonight. They didn't come away with the 4 points in front of this crowd of 45,673, but they put up a mighty performance. The final scoreline here at Football Park, victory to the Crows by a point, 15-13 to 15-12.
The name of the game is Australian.
Have you heard this?
Get lost. Harder that way you walk. Oh, man, summer with the wrong beat.
Well, get this. The Company of Strangers. Simon Hussey, Jeff Scott, James Ray, and Darryl Braithwaite. The Company of Strangers. As strangers no more.
Welcome back to Football Park. We're in the Crows' room. Cornsy's not giving away a lot, but I think, Donald, there is a touch of relief on that face of Graham Corns.
Well, in situations like that, Sandy, you really got to just hand it to the players. I mean, the runner wasn't going out there making positional moves, and you just depend on the players, and they rise to the occasion in situations like we saw in the last quarter.
Well, let's have a look at the final scoreline for those people who may have arrived home late. It's been a thrilling game right from the word go. There were times when we thought Adelaide would break clear. There were times when we thought Fitzroy would break clear. But in the end, it came down to one kick that resulted in a behind, and it gave Adelaide a 1 point lead. That's what occurred on the scoreboard at the finish. 15-13, 103 Adelaide. 15-12, 102
to Fitzroy. The Crows can cheer.
Well, Fitzroy could have been 3-love up.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, 3 games.
How would you like to be a
very,
Fitzroy
very
supporter
close.
at the moment? Because what, they went down to Footscray by, I think, 3 points. They went down tonight by a point, and they snuck home by Carlton in the last kick of the day. But where do you think the Crows got on top? The move, obviously, of Matthew Liptak down into that forward line. A couple of goals late in the quarter.
Yeah, that was something, but also that Tregenza on the wing was getting away from Baldwin. But Liptak was on and off the bench. But, I thought McGuinness was just terrific in the last quarter because he was the only one who still had legs to be able to run across the ground, and he was just giving them something. But really, as I said earlier, all the players rose to the occasion. McCarthy, I haven't seen him play like that for a long, long time. He was desperate. He added a defensive side to his game tonight, and he responded when the pressure was on.
Yes, just as we look at the highlights of the second half, McCarthy booted 4 goals. He kicked 2 in the second quarter and 2 in the third. But this is one of the great goals, is it not? He's built like a string bean. Jamie Elliott.
Sensational play, Jamie Elliott. Fitzroy by
But what I hope, Sandy, is that Fitzroy just don't give it away because
I don't think they ever give it away.
Well, I mean, you know, if you don't receive something on the scoreboard as far as wins go, you know, you don't start on a roll. As I mentioned, they've only won the 1 game this year. Could have easily been 3 they'd won. They've just got to stick at it, and if they keep doing the things that are right, which they did do tonight, eventually it'll go your way. Here's McCarthy. I think he kicked 2 goals in the space of 30 seconds, and they were long bombs.
That was in the third quarter.
And that's when they looked like they might get away, Fitzroy. But this man, he worked hard, I thought. He could have taken marks, but he just got his hands to it, spilt them, but he worked hard.
And then suddenly it turned. Look at that.
This was Modra when he started. I think he kicked, 4 goals in the third term?
Yes, he did kick 4 in the third term.
Because you couldn't blame anybody in that instance. Seacap back and coming back. Minotti trying desperately to punch it away, but he was just too good. There's Pittman again. Tregenza, always on the outside. He's the type of player you just got to run with the whole time. Don't get sucked into play yourself because he'll catch you to bits as he did on that occasion. Did a lot of times on centre wing, Tregenza.
This guy's on fire. This for number 6.
Haven't they built up the Crows over the past 2 years? They've really got stuck into the weights and developed their bodies physically.
And as Matthew said, while you've got that man firing down there, you've got Scott Hodges waiting in the wings too. So putting pressure on players already.
Here's the Noddy's goal. He had a dirty night, but he's happy.
He loved that one, didn't he? He loved it.
Rowe, tough player up forward. Here he goes. 1-2. And Rowe, remember Rowe going in and then he turned it over and in exactly the same situation.
Manson, lock arms, Pittman.
Oh, he didn't. This is a throw.
The umpire said go on with it. Still he does. And
very doubtful that one.
That looked pretty good for a goal. Play on.
And the players really tired at this stage. And here's the man. Did some terrific stuff in the last quarter. Liptak and one smother. That was fantastic.
Kicked 1 goal. That's in this
What a
quarter.
lovely
He wastes
goal.
no time. He heads for
And quickly looking at the stats, well, both these sides, let's see the handballs. Yeah, well, last time they played Adelaide, they had 159. The average in the AFL is about 109. Or they're averaging right on that. But last, as I said, 159 last time. It's a part of their game. Fitzroy, on the other hand, up on what they normally average, 137. What about the centre breaks? They were even because Fitzroy really did get it out there early on. But, that was just a terrific game of football.
Yes, it certainly was. 1 point the difference. So let's go down to the Crows' rooms. Bob Hammond, Max, I guess, would be happy, but also a relieved man.
I think Bob would be pretty relieved as chairman, but also a slight smile somewhere there.
Well, relieved and proud of the effort that our guys put in. I think that it was a game that at one stage looked like it may have slipped from us. I thought the character that was shown then in the about the 22-23 minute mark of the third quarter was outstanding. Fitzroy are a very good side. If you look at their results right through Foster's Cup and in each of the home games, I think at the biggest margin they've either won or lost by is 8 points. We knew it was going to be a titanic struggle. I mean, they just give it all. They are the most honest side in the competition. We expected what we got, and I was just well, obviously pleased and proud of the way our blokes fought it out.
You said it was going to be a titanic struggle, but honestly, before the game, you must have thought that, you know, you'd be odds-on favourite to win it.
Well, obviously we were favourite to win it. There was a few things going for us, including our home ground, but the coming off the bye has a real tradition of defeats, and we were very conscious of that as well. We became a little unbalanced early when we lost Smart, and it took us a little while to recompose ourselves, but that's how football should be played, and I guess it's a great pity that someone has to lose, but we're obviously going to take the points and be very pleased.
I'm sure you are. Looking at the situation with Sean Wren, now he's going to play for West Adelaide tomorrow. Looking at the situation, do you think he would have added anything, the height?
Well, it's very difficult to say. Sean has only played about one game in 6 or 7 weeks. We knew this game would be like this. It was going to be won primarily on the ground. We took some sort of a risk, I guess, with only going with Pittman in the as far as the square was concerned, but I think that risk paid off.
Okay, Tony Modra, I mean, you're going to have a problem in the next couple of weeks with Scott Hodges. He's playing for Port Adelaide tomorrow. How do you see that at the moment as a selector?
Well, I see it as a healthy problem to have. I mean, Tony's form's been outstanding. I think it's now 22 goals in 3 games, and that's outstanding within itself. We've still got great faith in Scott Hodges. It doesn't mean to say they both have to play full forward. They've got qualities that can see them in other positions, and when both are fit and well, we'll address the problem then.
Okay, Matthew Liptak, I mean, 2 years ago he had a bit of trouble kicking for goal, even dead set in front, but I tell you what, the last 2 years have paid off. He's had specialised training, I think it was last year, I mean, paid huge dividends, and his last quarter today was unbelievable.
Well, it was excellent. Matthew has improved his kicking immeasurably. Michael Taylor has helped him a great deal there. I just think that all of our players' skills have improved. I just think our determination's improved, and I think our teaming's improved, and how much still remains to be seen.
Okay, thanks very much, Bob, and congratulations, and I think a drink might be in order.
Thank you.
For you, Max, or for Bob? Time will tell on that one. We'll take a break and come back to say goodbye shortly.
It's the name of the game.
After captivating audiences around the world, the internationally acclaimed Four Kinsmen bring their fabulous show home to you.
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun.
Don't miss their songs, dance, the impressions, the laughs,
some secluded rendezvous that overlooks the avenue, with someone sharing a delightful chat of this and that and cocktails for two.
and their dynamic harmonies.
Sherry, baby, Sherry.
Australia's multi-award-winning group, the Four Kinsmen, displaying their own brand of music and comedy entertainment.
Bridgeway Entertainment Centre presents the Four Kinsmen. Reservations are now open for their 1993 Christmas season. Book early.
Let's have a look at some of the individual performances. Don, first up for the Crows, Tony McGuinness.
Well, looking at those stats, you say his effectiveness wouldn't be as that it was in the first quarter, but it doesn't take into statistics how much running, and he was the only one, as I mentioned earlier, who really did keep on running at the end of the game, and he was a danger.
Jimmy Wine?
Yes, another non-baller, and he was underneath those packs, and he kicked 2 goals, which were fantastic, under packs in the second quarter. Yes, they're registered there, 31 possessions.
Simon Tregenza?
Well, he's a player you've really got to stay with, because he doesn't venture in where the action is. He stays on the outside, and just you're the concentration required to stay with him, because the ball always seems to come out, and then he does his damage on that outer wing, or whichever wing he's playing on, and he cuts it to pieces. Broderick had the job on McDermott, I think earlier it was, and a little quiet as he, yes, but 19 handballs, it's still not bad, 27 possessions. Scott Lee, he didn't come under notice very often, except in the last quarter under pressure. He spotted someone with the ball. That was good play, but a pretty solid performer. He's always there, Scott Lee. And Matthew Armstrong, I thought he was good for 3 quarters. He ran out of legs a little bit at the last, and still finished up with 29. They're very high possession getters, aren't they?
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1993 Premiership Season League ladder.
Yes, round 4 underway, but of course very early days yet. But Crow fans will be delighted to see that. Adelaide up the top, then Collingwood, Hawthorn third spot, West Coast, North and St Kilda making up the top 6 as it stands at the moment. In fact, out of the 6, Fitzroy, Carlton, Fitzroy, Geelong, Brisbane, Richmond, Essendon, who've had a tough start to the season, Melbourne, and also Sydney looking for their first wins of the season. And so to the continuation of round 4, and let's have a quick look at these, Don. I'll get your views on what you think you're going to see Collingwood and the Saints tomorrow. Collingwood without Dacos and Kilda without Lockett.
Doesn't matter whether Lockett was there, Collingwood would still win.
Very adamant about that. Hawthorn and Geelong, this is at Waverley Park.
Well, they're not going so well, are they, Geelong? But Hawthorn, I think they'll be dangerous after last week.
Melbourne under Neil Baum have had a very
ordinary
initiation.
Start, yes, and they've lost a few players too through suspension, and North Melbourne are on a roll and their confidence will be high.
And of course we've got 2 games coming up on Sunday. Sydney plays, in fact bear in mind, check your viewing guides wherever you may be watching, because one game is earlier than the other. First up it is Sydney playing Essendon at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Sydney, well, they haven't won since the middle of last year.
No, and I was very disappointed. I went to last week's game with high expectations. They played St Kilda, and I thought with all their recruiting they'd show a lot more. Maybe they'll come back. Who knows, because they played well for 3 quarters up there against Hawthorn, but I'm going for Essendon.
And of course the game to complete the round is between the West Coast and Brisbane, and that is in Perth. West Coast to continue on the winning way.
What do you think?
I think they might, but
I think they will too. I think they will.
They knock the Bears, and of course Carlton, Footscray and Richmond have the bye. May I say one thing to you?
What's that?
Good luck at the blackjack table.
Hope you've enjoyed our telecast. We'll see you again soon on 7 Sport.
This has been a 7 Sport production.
Day 4 in Kenya. I'll never forget what I saw yesterday. The drought here, it affects everything. I never thought it'd be this bad. The children just lying on the ground so sick and weak from not enough food. There's been no real rain here for 4 years. The people, animals and crops just aren't surviving. Their suffering is so great. But amidst all this, there is hope. At Logo Logo, a World Vision project, I met Inta Dungwa. She's so very shy. She showed me what a difference World Vision child sponsorship has made for her and her village. Because of the drought, the village ran dry, and World Vision was forced to truck water in from 50 kilometres away. Then the World Vision team drilled the bores, and now clean water is available for the people and their animals. Inta Dungwa showed me her school, where she's doing really well. But throughout the world, World Vision needs more sponsors for children like Inta Dungwa. I've seen how just $29 a month can make such a difference to the life of a child like Inta Dungwa. Perhaps without World Vision, she wouldn't be here at all. It's so important. Please pick up the phone, ring this number and say you'll sponsor a child. For just $29 a month, it makes a world of difference. Call now. World Vision child sponsorship really works. And it's up to us.
Strike the treble with this fabulous new Trebles range of compact discs and cassettes. 3 CD packs only $19.95. 3 cassette packs for only $14.95. You'll love these titles. The Instrumental Collection, The Best of Broadway, the Patsy Cline Collection, Hooked on Rock and Roll, and the Ballroom Dance Collection. Trebles 3 packs, 3 CDs for less than $20. That's incredible value. Look for this stand tomorrow.
Hold your horses, honey. How about some of this oily stuff? I've got gallons of it. Black Gold, Texas tea.
No, thanks. I like Kraft peanut butter. It's so easy to spread, and it's never dry or oily.
But all this could be yours! Stop! Now, kid, don't be rash, kid! No, move!
Kraft peanut butter. Smooth or crunchy, but never dry or oily.
The
international version of Magna is making a big noise overseas. One reason is that it has a great V6 engine. Now Mitsubishi is proud to introduce the Magna V6 to Australia. Luxurious, refined, and with all the power you need. The Mitsubishi Magna Executive V6, sedan and wagon, a welcome addition to the Magna range.
If you're into running, walking or aerobics, get into Joggers World for our Easter break sale. Nike Air Pegasus out for just $75. Other run-out models are drastically reduced. Joggers World Easter break sale, 123 Perry Street, City.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1993 Premiership Season League ladder.
Yes, this is after round 3, the top 6. And it's an interesting 6. Adelaide, Collingwood in second spot. Hawthorn, West Coast, North Melbourne, and St Kilda making up the 6 outside. Footscray at 7th, Fitzroy at 8th, and Melbourne and Sydney bringing up the rear, still yet to register their first win. Collingwood were big winners here. Of course, don't forget, round 4 kicks off next Friday night at Football Park in Adelaide when they take on the Lions.
This has been a 7 Sport production.